who's here? Welcome, Rex, Hex, and Apex Show. Where's Rex? Well, Rex will be coming in shortly, let's hope. So we have a special guest, the wonderful KatyDid. Hello, Katy. Oh, you're muted again. It's okay.
It's the blonde.
It's the blonde. Cool.
It's the
So Rex will be
blonde.
coming in
Ew.
later. I said, hey, Rex, come on out. It's showtime. And hopefully not taking a nap or whatever.
Oh, he's taking it up. I guarantee it. He's taking it. No. I mean, I know.
I told him it's like 8:30. We're gonna have KatyDid on. How can he miss that? Dang it! Oh, anyway, shoot.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And working around my time and everything. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you for being on. That's the thing. Absolutely. You're one of our premium guests, I think, in my opinion. But
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have our friend, of course, the Quantum Comics genius over here, Hex Allen. Hey, Hex, how you doing?
Who are you talking to?
looking like Seal today.
He does, don't he? It's so good to see you too, hon. I've meant to say it. It's been so long since I've had you on my show and all that, and I'm so glad that you're doing well, hon. I really am.
Thank you. Good
to see you.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on way back when. Like you're
always welcome.
One of the few people who invited me personally to be on their show to promote my comic.
Let's say hello to.
I didn't have it on the platform back then.
So hello to the mighty chat. Hey, Halder, how you doing? Good to see you. Shadowhawk Talks. Thank you.
Yo.
Hey, hello. Quantum Edge, of course, that's Hex. And
Rex is failing his DEI requirement.
That's right. And says hello, hi, hail, yes, yeah, blah 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 blah. Hello all, and all that fun. Hellos, and all that stuff. All good. So anyway, I discovered KatyDid's channel. I discovered your channel when Ethan Van Sciver was saying, "Well, KatyDid's got a really good video." I went, KatyDid what? What did KatyDid? Who's this KatyDid? I never heard of KatyDid. So anyway, so how long have you had your channel?
Gosh, I've had it for about a year. I had a second channel and it was an anime channel. And I wanted to do the channel I have now, but because I wanted to do other things besides, anime. Because I was looking into manga, but I'm also a parent, so I thought about, maybe we could have a parent conversation, and then the 8 passengers situation happened. It's like, maybe I shouldn't talk about parenting because it's but it's been good. I kept it there and I said, it's going to be useful for something. I just got to find the right time and situation because I just had my son. So I wasn't really doing much YouTubing since then. He was born very early at 26 weeks. So I was in the NICU with him for 3 months. So so for a good long time, I didn't do any YouTubing. And I thought about sharing my experience of being a NICU parent and all that. But I was also been watching Comicscape for a long time. I would watch the Jack Show and all that. And then, Comicscape artists like Ethan Van Sciver coming on Flashcast and all those shows. So I've been following a lot of those shows, especially during the Trump era, when things were going crazy. And I really watching Comicscape from a distance. And I put out a tweet one day and so it's great that I could take my second channel and do something good with it because, being a mother, especially with my son, I was like, I really want to find some good stuff for him to enjoy, not only for him, but for my daughter as well. And I've always been interested in comic books, but I got out of high school and I went to the party life and doing all stupid stuff throughout my youth and kind of got away from the nerd culture kind of thing that I grew up on. And now that I have children, it's so nice because I can get back into it. My son and I make him watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the early 90s and whatnot. And So it's so good to get back into that. It's like, oh, I miss these days when I was just a kid
Oh yeah.
watching
Where do you see
morning
the turtles
cartoons and
show? Something like the turtles. Where do you watch it? Like on Pluto TV or something? Like
YouTube.
oh yeah,
YouTube.
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 Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's
Pluto
They've actually got
has a
the
ton of
episodes on
old stuff
YouTube,
too.
so
And
yeah.
Pluto's free, and they have a ton of like
Do they?
really obscure stuff,
I like that.
cartoons. You know,
Cool.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not making an
So
advertisement for Pluto,
But they should put money in your pocket, Hex.
but yeah.
they should.
I
Cough
kind
it
of used
up,
to work with them,
Pluto.
actually.
Oh yeah,
But
oh my God! Fight, fight, fight! Oh yeah, last week President Trump was
Yeah. Oh,
shot.
that's
What an
son of a.
iconic thing! It's like got up, was like, it's like, oh, one of them was like,
thank God,
Oh yeah.
thank
thank
God,
goodness,
he was saved by the grace of God.
amen.
'Cause
Yeah.
it would be a different time right now if things
Mm.
went through. And I was actually I was interviewing Bosch Fulton that night, and
Oh.
we almost didn't do it
Oh,
because when it first happened, and then we were like, let's just go ahead and do it. We're going to talk about it. So it actually turned out really well because he was talking about his experience with drawing him on with Pigman, and so it kind of tied everything together with what's going on in our culture and in politics and stuff like that. And his comic, how it's very controversial. I advise everybody go check out that interview. It was very eye-opening. You realize that there are people out there that are willing to take a risk and still do it, even though their life is in danger. And so, yeah, that was a heck of a night, man. that was
it was.
that was a wild night. So
Yeah. Wow.
I discovered that on Cecil's channel, and Cecil's like, "Oh my God, Trump got shot!" He's showing it all the way through. I was
Oh.
watching. All of us were
Yeah.
watching together
Yeah.
online. It was
I was
like,
watching
wow,
the rally live.
a shared
as it
experience.
happened.
It was. It was like, wow. We're all tapping in the chat, what's going on and stuff.
yeah,
It's brought the country together in a way, I think, in my opinion. But yeah,
I think so too, because we
Let's
need
hope
to come
so.
together in this country. It's not Republicans and Democrats.
Right.
It's us in the middle, and need to realize that both parties are working to make us fight each other.
right.
And really, we don't need to fight each other. We can find a lot of common ground on some things, on topics. So I'm hoping it brings the country together more. We need it now more than ever. I mean, I remember as a kid when 9/11, I remember being so patriotic. Like, you couldn't even get an American flag at Walmart. They sold out.
Yeah, I
you
remember
couldn't
that.
even. Yeah, and I wish we can go back to that time when we were all like coming together and patriotic.
too.
And it's, yeah.
Hey guys,
Hey.
KatyDid. Sorry, I'm late, guys. It was,
What?
and a
What? You're late? I thought you
Who
were
is
here.
this
No, I was
stranger?
engaged in a big bowl of popcorn, and I was
Yeah.
oblivious to time. But yeah,
It's good to
Yeah.
see
I
you.
said I
Rex.
need
Had
to
to
finish this and
recharge.
check the time, and like, oh crap, that's
Oh,
real professional. But you know,
hey, it's PPR Street Gang.
yeah, I
Hello.
look at
Yo.
9/11. Even I'm older than you,
Yeah.
KatyDid, by a long shot. I'm 58, although I look 37.
Oh, Rex is here. Yeah.
With my hair dyed and a new body. But that was really our Pearl Harbor,
It was.
our
Yeah.
9/11.
Mhm.
There's
That's
been
right,
other
clever.
disasters
Exactly.
like the Oklahoma City bombing and other things in our lifetimes, but nothing on that scale. And that was kind of like our Pearl Harbor, I thought.
I think so.
I had to be in
Our 1812.
I had to be in court all day long, most of the day that day, and
Wow.
reports from a friend who just happened to be there too, and then left and came back or whatever. He'd go, well, they got the Pentagon, and it just kept getting more and more and more as it went along. I
Yeah.
had to get up early to get over there to go to court that day with my mother, and I was sitting there watching her TV live, and the towers had already been hit and on fire by one plane, and then I just saw the second plane hit and said, well, that's terrorism.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came to my thought, mind.
Well, you know what's sad too is watching people jump out of that building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the hardest
Crazy.
because I remember they had a collage of everybody. They had videos from where everybody was recording on their phone at the time, and
Mhm.
I'll never forget this image. Someone was actually like close to the towers up in their apartment, and they're like filming it, and you can literally see people just jumping out of the building, and
Oh.
it's
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they even
that's when
had,
it really like, oh
you know,
god,
they
this is
had
awful.
5 or 6 or maybe even, you know, 50, I don't know,
Yeah, that's a lot.
tabletop books come out after that, and they actually showed pictures of people in midair, you know,
Yeah.
jumping out of the building. But you can imagine how hot that was. It was it's amazing they just didn't pass out. But I mean, if you get to something that hot, desperate, you know, you might do it. You probably would too. Either that or jump into the fire. You
I
know.
know, and when you really think about it, like really deep into it, it's like,
Mhm.
oh shit, it's messing with my psyche, like, because it
Yeah.
really, you try to like put yourself in, it's like, oh my god, what a horrible way
Hey,
to
Homer.
die, to know, well, I could die in this building, or I could jump out of this building and it could be quick. I mean, it's just overall sad.
I
I
was
mean, it
seeing that
really
building
was.
tumble down like that. I turned on the TV and you saw a building tumble down like you're maybe
Coming.
watching a Godzilla movie or something.
Yeah.
Crumbling. Like, what the hell am I watching? Like,
Well, you know, you got a lot
That
of
was a
people
creep.
now talking
yeah. It's a
about
creep.
unity and the president and, you know, and the RNC messages and stuff, a unifier. That's not the president's job. It's nice if he can do that, if he can kind of have a message that's a positive and pro-American. And, you know, you can call that American propaganda. I guess you could have done it in the greatest generation in the 40s with the Nazism, but yeah, I mean, comics were birthed out of that. I mean, they were already around, but you could
Yeah.
call that, well, you know, all those early war covers and stuff, that's American propaganda. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Well, and propaganda
an
doesn't have to have a
anti-American like
negative
we're getting
connotation.
now and calling it art, you know.
Well, that's what it was back then, though, and it's funny
Yeah.
because I'm we were watching like old Looney Tune cartoons, and some of them were propaganda, and it's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
wow, like their life was so different then, you know,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to take appreciation for the art of it. Yes, some people think it's propaganda, but you also have to remind yourself things were so different back then. Like there wasn't no internet. TV was, you know, so
I was
the
talking to a
only
friend last night. I said, you and I and everybody on this panel, except maybe for you, Katie, have we've went most of our lives without a phone, without a cell phone.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Star Trek technology to us,
It
wasn't it,
was.
guys?
If it weren't for Star Trek, I don't know if we'd have a flip phone or anything like that. It may have come later or
Yeah.
discovered
My
later.
first phone was the Nokia phone, like the little
Oh,
Yeah.
Nokia phone when I was
Mine had an
16.
antenna on it. You know.
some people they just had a big
Yeah.
brick on with an antenna, put it
Well,
against their
All
head.
those
no.
big phones,
Yeah, I had some
Yeah.
walkie-talkies, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father had a brick, one of those bricks in his truck. You know, he farms, and so he's way out in the fields, and that was a great way to stay in contact, especially
1976.
when bad weather comes in. You know,
right? Yeah.
but you know, even I and even Brett up here
Yeah.
is too old. I mean, not old enough really to know. Although you may have been alive then, you're not that much older than I am, though. But where there was segregation, whites only, and
Yeah.
all
I was like,
that, you know, drinking fountains.
1960s,
I never
50s.
experienced that, you know.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Crazy.
mean, but still, I think it's something with all that. It seemed like we were had a more, you know, national identity. You'd say that identity was wrong, but there was more, you know, the
Coming together.
now everything's questioned. And my guest on today was Mark Largent, and he was saying it's a dangerous place when all the media does
Yeah.
or you don't trust your government, you don't trust the media. It really is. It's a dangerous place to be when you don't trust anything, because what if an emergency happened like he said, and the call goes out and nobody believes it. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Like crying wolf.
Yeah, we're crying wolf.
Sort of like-
Yeah, Peter and the wolf. Yeah,
Yeah. That story. It's wild.
you wrote that,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Who?
You.
Me?
You're not that old. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, in my manuscript back in 1704.
But I mean, there were, we had a sense of right and wrong. We're not really teaching that to kids today.
No.
We're teaching sass back at me. I want to be your friend and steal your parents, or whatever. Video games, cell phone, all bow down at the altar of the cell phone, whatever. But they're not getting really a sense of history, what's come before, and that is, and also, a sense of responsibility, personal responsibility, and wonderment and adventure, kind of like the Lewis and Clark experience, where wow, you go out and find a challenge and you tame it. None of that's really taught,
Yeah.
it's all moral gray area to a lot of and they're not taught critical thinking.
That's what needs to come back to school is critical thinking. You always have to question what your teachers are teaching you or what the actual facts are. Research it yourself. That's probably the only way to learn from, I think.
See, you hit on it, Apex. I mean, we live in where we have knowledge at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Anything. I can get a PhD from YouTube. I mean,
that's scary.
I don't know if literally, but there's enough information out there. If you dive deep and you got just a basic, if you can't make it in America, look, they're still wanting to come here. That's a good sign. When you see people going out, like they have been in California, and leaving the country, then we're in real trouble.
Right. Well, you were saying, Rex, about how, we need to make sure that our kids are to learn the real history, make sure that our kids are learning what is the truth and not a lie. It's going to be interesting with my kids. This is going to be an interesting journey.
You got kids? You look about 3. What the hell?
I'm 37.
Oh, you're 2. Okay.
I thought you were like 20.
You must have been born on leap year. What the heck? Happy birthday, by the way, this year.
Oh, you're like a teenager coming on our channel.
I know, right? I got 2 kids. I don't believe it.
What? 10? What?
Yeah.
What happened?
A 2-year-old and a 5-year-old.
She's tougher than she looks. Last one she had come out sideways.
Oh, yeah, that was
Plain Strange and Automobiles. I'm sorry.
Somebody mentioned that.
I'm leaving.
Mentioned that just now on his channel. I was watching good stuff before we came on. He said exactly the same thing you did, Rex. Sideways.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my favorite birthing joke. I said that on the show today, too. From... I don't know. It's just so funny the way it is in Plain
Werewolf on lunchtime. Hey, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Werewolf.
Yes, star of Werewolf versus the Nudist Colony. That's what it's supposed to be produced somewhere in Australia. So it'll be a fun movie.
Well, HEX has got a unique perspective out of all of us. I don't know where you are, Katie, and I should know, so I apologize. But he's out there in California, and he's probably got people telling you, "Why are you there?" All the time. Am I not right, HEX?
I've got no other place to go.
Come on to Virginia. Well, come on down here to Virginia.
Just thumb it. Just thumb it. Grapes of wrath in reverse. Think grapes of wrath in reverse.
Look what Kevin Nuisance has done to our state.
Oh, God.
Grab Jed
I don't call him Governor
and go back to Tennessee.
I call him Governor Patrick Bateman.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
Patrick
know that
Bateman.
name.
Yes.
You know that name. You know what? American Psycho.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Great
same look, same dude.
It is.
Yeah.
I never thought
slick
about
back
that.
hair. Yeah. He's a freaking psycho
here, considering everything that's going on tonight.
he can't.
There's a lot
Well,
going
I
on
can't say
tonight. A lot of
that.
streams,
Can I
a lot
ask
of stuff.
you, have you heard the
Can't be governor
rumors about
forever.
about Biden bowing out, being pressured, and they're
I've
just kind of going to go?
heard,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard, and it does not surprise me. And I'll say this: I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on this. So you know that debate he had with Trump recently?
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think they set him up for that. I think they knew he was going to
Yeah.
not do well. They had to find some way to make an excuse of getting rid of him.
Yeah.
So let's put him in this debate, and then let's all act shocked, like, "Oh, I don't know, we should."
Right,
We
and they
may
were
need
being
to.
complicit in it the whole time.
Yeah.
They've been
I think it was
covering
a
up
setup.
for him. You
They
know,
knew
so
that from the beginning. And of
Yeah,
course.
but
that's
they
a
had to find a way to make an excuse of it. They can't just say, "Oh, he's leaving." No, we need
Right.
to embarrass him publicly and be like, "Oh, you know,
it's
every, you
never
know."
about the individual with the communist socialists. It's about party first.
That's
I don't
true.
care. They would oust Obama if he was somehow an embarrassment or needed an obstacle to them. You know, it wouldn't matter.
So who do you think would replace Biden? Who do y'all think?
It doesn't matter really, but I mean, you know, because they're going to be lost to history. You know,
I
I
think
mean,
so.
they might be a footnote somewhere. It'll probably be the vice president. Who
Yeah,
knows?
vice.
He's trying to cobble together something now, but there's the, you know, they're saying Hillary. It's like you want to put in a 3-time loser there or 2 or whatever. I mean, she's
It'll probably be
yeah,
no one we expect.
yeah.
Perfect
I
choice
think
of
it was
VP.
Michelle Obama.
Or Big Mike.
Nah, I think if they were going to play that card, they wouldn't want to waste it.
Big
That's
Mike.
the only shot they got, and I don't think they got that even with Michelle. You know, because it's
Right.
she's got the name recognition, but I
Yeah.
mean, they put on a good. I mean, the tables have turned. The bloom is off the
Yeah.
rose, and I think even Hinckley came out today, who shot Reagan, and ensured his presidency. You know, and sympathy for the president
Which I
shortly
thought was
after
so
he was
crazy. I'm
elected.
like, I didn't even know
Yeah.
this guy was out of jail. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I thought he
yeah.
was.
Yeah. He was first staying at his mother's. He was like in and out, going, you know, and then eventually, yeah, he's out. So
Wow.
that's crazy. You can attempt to assassinate a president and get out of jail. Okay,
Isn't that
time
crazy?
served,
Oh
I
my
guess.
God.
Well, this is America.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Well, it wasn't just Reagan. It was the guy shot in the head that was never right again, and a lot of other people, you know. So
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I just heard today. Well, I know with the shooter of Trump that there was like 3 offshore accounts in his name. Now I heard that very early on, a few days ago, and that and I really haven't been keeping up with it closely, just kind of on the radio, because I heard the debate on the radio. I'm out driving at night, and I usually hear this stuff on the radio. And that there might have been a second shooter. I just heard that today, but they're not.
I heard that
talking about it.
too.
Huh.
So I don't know. There's, you know, I mean, is it a
Well, it's
Lee
hard to
Harvey
say.
Oswald type thing? You know, I don't know.
Well, it's hard to say because who do you, we said earlier, who do you trust? Like,
Yeah.
are
Well,
we
who
getting
was this
incorrect
guy? Because
information?
only thing I've heard is he was a Republican. Really? I mean,
What? I was 20 years
I don't
old.
know if that's true or not, or
I
you
don't
know,
Unless he's a rhino.
it really doesn't matter.
Rhinos.
I mean,
They're bad.
and I heard for the very first time today, I think it might have been Mark that told me that he had a bomb in his car, had another one in another car at like his parents' house or something like that. But he had a switch and I think he was thinking he could get away with the distraction of an explosion, but he didn't. He took the headshot and didn't ever get to trigger it. So I don't know.
Well,
But it should have never happened. And for the leader of the Secret Service to come out and say, with the Secret Service put their life at risk, they go in there knowing that I may have to take a bullet for someone. You know, that's what happened to the firefighter. He was shielding and protecting his family. Took a headshot and killed him, I think.
That was so sad too.
I know,
That was so
Corey. I think
sad.
they had a funeral today, but You know, that's a name that we should remember. But you know, she came out and said that it was a safety issue, that it was the roof was on an incline, on a slight incline.
Yeah.
It turns out, which is, these people are in harm's way. That's the job. Somebody should.
Why is there women protecting him? Trump
the guy,
overtowering these women.
The shooter, I'm told, and how they found this out, I don't know. Scoped out the area with a drone ahead of time.
Yeah, and you had the audience go, look, there's a guy on the roof there. There's a guy on the roof.
Yeah, they're pointing.
And they had 30 seconds. And 30 seconds, that's an eternity.
It's like, what the hell? And they still let Trump in on stage. I'm like, oh, it's crazy.
And that was their headquarters, their meeting place downstairs or whatever in that building. Right? It should have never happened.
Well, I heard too that they knew about this guy. Like, they knew this guy was trouble.
Yeah.
And they knew he was in the area, but then they ended up losing track of him.
Right.
So you guys were aware that there was a threat and you did nothing about it?
So let me get this straight. We have satellites up in space that can tell me how many nose hairs I have here if I'm outside.
Wow.
They can zoom in that close.
Damn, that's scary.
It is amazing. Am I right? It is amazing how they can zero in with you with laser pinpoint accuracy up close and personal and count the wrinkles on your eyes.
They're counting Rex's nose hair. He has 37 nose hairs.
Right. Okay. Well, you know.
The government knows how many.
Probably. I haven't trimmed them in a day or two. You
know. Rex is going to trim them.
You know, you have to pluck them like a woman does anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, see,
can we say woman or man on here? I don't know anymore, right?
Sure.
You are a woman. You said you birthed 2 children, so birthing person. Let's just play it safe.
Rex.
Well, thank you for giving me the correct. I want to be referred as a birthing person. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go share something with you guys to get into the American spirit. The wonderful America. Yeah. That's right. Remember Hogan?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. I like to play a little bit.
I like to move it.
Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised.
Look at those red shoes.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
That's worse than my internet. What the hell?
To kill the next president of the United States.
That's Shoppy Ass Theater Part 2.
It was enough. And I said, let Trump-a-mania run wild, brother. Let Trump-a-mania.
I grew up watching him on Westworld.
Hey, Smoking Ray.
Trump-a-mania make America great again.
Yeah.
I used to watch him in his prime back in the day, and then seeing that was like, it brought so much nostalgia in my childhood memories. I was like, yes, Hulk Hogan, you know.
Yeah, Trump-a-mania, yeah. What's up, fellas? Yes. Are you okay? But what?
They actually, I had C-section both times, so.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ouch. That's gotta be painful.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you're numb.
Now, was that early? Was that early?
Like,
were they early?
Well, my first one was a week early.
Okay.
Because she stopped growing, and so they were concerned. And then my second one, I had my placenta abrupted, and so I had to have an emergency C-section when he was 26 weeks old.
So you didn't go septic or anything.
That tiny. What?
You didn't have any ill effect with that, did you? Like,
hey, thanks, Mike. How you doing?
I mean, repair time.
Maybe.
No, actually, the way they do it now is like it's a little stitch, and you heal in no time. Like it's amazing what the technology has done. But yeah, I had him at 26 weeks, and he was just this tiny.
This is a true story. I know this guy. He's a great friend of mine, and when he was in his mother's womb, another great friend of mine, love her to death. They said, you need to abort this baby. This baby's going to be brain dead. All kinds of stuff they told her, and he was when it's like, I don't care my faith. I'm carrying him full term. I'm not going to
Amen.
abort this baby. And they're like, there's no way this baby's going to live. Or if he does, he's not going to be normal. He's going to be severely handicapped or brain dead. It's, and he came out normal. So don't believe the lies of the enemy.
Right.
Take a chance. What you got to lose, and you might come out on the good end.
Amen.
You know,
Amen to that.
always side on the side of life, I say.
I agree.
Well, that's the thing with me. Like when I was in the NICU with all these other babies, I mean, I think at one time I was in there visiting my son, and a 24-week-old came in, and I mean they're tiny, and I'm sitting there like, you people are willing to abort these tiny little babies? Like, you could see all the veins, the whole deep, like, and it just kind of got to my mind where people are like, oh yeah, 26 weeks or something, it'd be all right. And I'm like,
No.
but they're huge, like they're these little babies. Like it changed. Like I've always been pro-life, but after I had my son, I'm like,
Yeah.
full on, like this is,
Faith,
and
faith. That's right.
and so faith. Thank God, God was good
Faith,
and
faith,
took care
faith.
of them.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't humanize it, and one thing that they're doing now that you can contribute to for like, I don't know, $26, I think, will buy an ultrasound for a mother. And statistically speaking, over 80%, if they see a picture of the baby, it becomes real to them at that point, and they don't abort the baby. So I think it's,
Yes.
Well, I think what they should do is if there's a mother that is thinking about doing it, make them go to the NICU.
Yes.
I know that sounds crazy, but
That
if
too,
you go in
yeah.
there and show them this is what a baby looks like at this many weeks.
But if they
That's
resist
hard.
it and really want to do it, you really can't infringe on their rights. I understand, but
Well,
you do need to give them as many options as you can and
Amen.
try and humanize the baby. But we
yes.
know that those clinics, that's not what they're all about.
And as Shahawk would say, always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, 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 do-do. And just imagine you're evolving on a planet that's evolving. And Smoking Ray says, you have to see it not to kill it. Wow. Babylon lives. Yeah. No kidding. Keep our babies alive.
Well, if he'll,
That's right.
I mean, that was one of the freaky things about the 2016 election, that when they started talking about abortion during the debate with Hillary and Trump, the one where he followed her around everywhere. Was
Yeah.
But I mean,
That's my favorite
She's
debate.
wearing a Dr. Evil coat.
but when she talked about abortion, she lit up. She's like, oh yeah, that's my pet. I mean, she is so pro-death.
Well,
I'm
you think
convinced.
that's
she's just
bad,
evil.
Rex? Our governor at the time, Terry McAuliffe, of Virginia, that I'm sure you guys are aware, he went on a local radio station in our area, and he said, yeah, I think the parents should abort their children up to the day of birth.
Yeah.
And it's like, and
And some
he
are
still gets.
advocating even after birth. Even, I mean, the
Well,
real
that's what he
extremists,
is advocating,
up
and
to
I'm
like
like
5 or 6, because their personalities aren't formed at that point. At 3 years old, I was watching the moon landing, and I remember it. And 50 years ago, I called my mother and I said, I was out working, and I said, I know where we were 50 years ago exactly today. It's 55 years today. So that's been 5 years ago when I called her. But I said, you were ironing. She said, what were we doing? And you said you were sitting in front of the little rabbit ear white TV, our first TV we had, and you were ironing, and I was running around making a lot of noise, and you said, just be quiet, I'm trying to watch TV. I said, what are you watching? And you said, and I'll never forget your next words, I'm watching Man Walk on the Moon.
July 20th, today, in fact. This is the 55th anniversary.
55 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
July 20th.
Oh, wow.
It's history.
One small step for KatyDid.
One giant
leap for somebody else. I don't know. But I saw that when I was 3 years old, when
That's
I was
awesome.
and it really, the 60s were all about the space race. Of course, that was the very end at 69. And then it's somewhat in the 70s. by the time the Apollo disaster, I watched 3 days of coverage on that. Would they make it back alive? You do, the Tom Hanks movie and anything about that. That was real life drama. We really didn't know if they'd make it back alive, and then, they developed a problem with their, breathing system or whatever. And they got to cobble together something with tape and figure out. I mean, it was suspense. It was real life. It was something that's occurred in your time and even before your time. Real TV, or what do they call it? Realistic. What is it? Viewing?
Reality.
Thank you. Reality TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to stay in the Matrix right over here.
Yeah.
If we get a few more people in there, Apex, we can have Hollywood Squares.
Oh, we could. I only had got 6, so
If we change the format, we could have,
great.
Hollywood
12
Oval
people
or
watching. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, ring bell for notifications if you would, if you haven't already.
and go sign up for the Good Stuff's cookbook. Hey,
Oh, good stuff. That's right.
Oh,
Good stuff.
yeah. Good
On
stuff
his-
he's launching today. Yeah.
He's launched on his
he's
channel,
launching the mail thing, isn't he?
and he's launching. Yeah,
Or is
he's
it
launching.
later?
I don't know. He's launching his video editing
Okay,
business,
that's what it is.
which
Yeah.
he
And
has
the
really
sign
good
up for the
prices.
book.
Sign up for the book. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys can maybe find it, put it in the chat. We'll give them some good exposure.
There you go.
Exactly. 4 corners of the
It used to be a community thing. KatyDid. If we're going to change something, it's going to have to start on a local level, grassroots
Yes.
level, or whatever. If you
always believed that.
if you let your town or your village or hobble or whatever you live in
the link.
go to
Yeah.
pot, then the rest really doesn't matter. The urban areas are going to have trouble, and they're going to have trouble for decades, even after Trump, because for so long. It'll get better, but they're going to be a mess for a while.
Yeah, I'd say they say a good 12 to 18 months or so. Try to get back on track.
Yeah.
Hopefully quicker than that, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Look, Reagan taking after Jimmy Carter. It took him 2 years to turn the
2 years.
economy around.
It did.
And we're
Jimmy
spending $1
Carter
trillion.
screwed out so bad.
We're spending $1 trillion. If you come into this world in debt, which we are, like, what is it, 36,000 or more? I don't know,
count.
50. I've lost count.
Trillion.
You
I
come
think.
into this world
Brilliant.
in debt,
I wish it was 36,000.
that's your children, that's your grandchildren.
Pay it
That's
off
your
next week.
great-grandchildren.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're going to be paying off the debt that we spent or didn't
Yes,
want to
right.
spend, but we had incompetence.
Comics set up a sign-up page for Moonlight Galactic. All right, Grandma Comics. There's so many comic companies out here. I love it. There's so many independent companies. I love
Quantum
the
Age
names.
Comics is here. Hey,
Quantum Age. Yeah, that's right. Quantum Age. Hey,
Just
look
talking
at that.
man.
Valiant.
Who's that? Who the hell's Quantum Age Comics?
Yeah, who's that guy? I don't know.
Some strange rando. Some rando.
Katie, do you collect anything?
Well,
American. Yes.
I had collected some manga, but I am now in the process of collecting comics, and I actually got 2 of them I need to get. I finished Quaff's book I need to do a review on, Shotgun Samurai Legends, and then Richard Embry's book Blood in the Sword. But I've got so many books to read and review, because a lot of these books are going to be passed on to my children. I'm kind of on a mission as a mother, because I always wanted to get into comics, but things in my life just didn't work out that way.
Comics made me a reader.
Yeah. Well, that's my goal, is to, and this is kind of something I try to, I don't want to say preach, because I try to speak out and Comicsgate about encouraging comic artists to do comics for all ages, because I believe that if we can get our children to read these comics, then they'll be wanting, then it could help with their reading levels and, do well. And it goes on into school, so they can do well in school with reading, and then go from comics to novels to why not? And then do their own book or their own comic.
Mhm.
I truly believe that we really need to get our children to start reading instead of sitting in front of the TV or the cell phone or the tablet. And I think about it too, how, by the time my kids are my age, everything will be digital probably. Like we don't, I mean, AI's advanced so much. We
Right.
don't know what the future's going to be like. And I'm so glad I got these books that my children can have and be great value as they get to my age if they take good care of them. But that's they can look back and be like, this is when people were actually drawing or writing their stories. They didn't have
Mhm.
things AI done and all that.
Well, I
So
mean, look,
um,
look back. Let's look back
Wow,
100 years.
Joe
Most of it
Box
was
is
handcrafted quilts, needle point, and very little of that is done. I mean,
I'll do
the
that
Native
more.
American tribes make all, and they still do. I mean, you can find stuff handmade, but in other countries, especially, but
street arts.
it's got its own quality, right? It's not mass
Hmm.
produced, and it should be treasured because it
Yeah.
has the fingerprint or like footprint on the moon, the imprint of man on it, and that's something
Yeah,
special about that. This
yeah.
generic, I don't think, if you have to dehumanize people to call it progress, I'd rather go back. Sorry, you know,
Yeah.
call me
No,
archaic, but
I'm so glad that I've got these books, especially those of like that have hand drawn it, and
mhm,
just you could see the dedication, the passion,
passion, yeah.
and it's just beautiful art because I did all kinds of art classes when I was in high school, and I kind of regret that I, you know, continue on with it. But I've always had appreciation for art, so when I finally got into the sphere, and I got in a different way. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But it's been wonderful. I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, Katie, here's this children's book, old comic book. I think I got the Avengers from someone recommended." And people are like, "Well, here's this comic book from back then that's really good for kids." And so it's been so nice to have the community be like, "Hey, I know your mother. Well, here's some recommendations." And that's all I ask is, let me know what's good, what's bad. Yeah, I think it's that one. I have to look. I got the link. It's on Amazon because I want to order it.
Okay.
And it's 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 so nice to get those recommendations because yeah, I'm a little behind on it. I don't know
Yeah.
everything of it. So it's so nice that every
When
time I
you
get
get
on
my
Steam
age,
or I
you
get on
still
Twitter.
won't. I mean, it's I mean, you got to do a deep dive. It's
Yeah, it's a lot.
inexhaustible by this point. There's
Yeah,
so much to learn. It's a unique American art form, like
Mhm.
jazz, or baseball. You know,
yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't produced much of originality in that sphere as far as things, but that's three things we got in the world. So
Well, and
same,
that's the thing too, being a manga
maybe
reader,
basketball.
I think it's important to get manga readers to also kind of come over to the Western side of comics. Like,
Hmm.
for
Yes.
instance, you got Liam's book, you have Guitar Witch Hunter, you got Shotgun Samurai. These are all kind of manga style books, but they're westernized. I think that's such a great way to introduce
Hi,
the
Ray.
manga
Hey,
community
Ray.
to that. You know, I will say it's nice to read forward than backwards. It's
Ray,
gonna
will you drop the
it's great.
chat for? Will you drop the chat? I mean, drop the link for the sign up or anything else you want. He's
Yeah.
got a wrench. He can do that for us. He was
Yeah,
over there
Rich.
with the
Go
good
ahead.
stuff.
Go ahead, drop the link to
I'm sorry, Katie. I didn't mean to
Oh, you're
cut
good.
you
You're
off there,
good.
but
yeah,
yeah, I
You're
wanted to get
good.
that out there because we want to get the link and help promote them.
yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. Comicsgate has
Hey, Travis.
really, truly blessed me. Like the
Mhm.
subscribers, the followers, the support. Through
Well, again,
monetization,
like
and
on the
it's
local level, generally, even today, we haven't devolved, but if there's an emergency, neighbors and friends that may never talk, they have the decency to actually come to your aid and care. Now, not
yeah,
always, but if we're going to change something, it has to start at the local level. Start
yeah,
at your on your school board, your local city council, or if you don't do it on there, and it starts. I mean, the states. That's what I'm excited about, to see if it can go more back to the states the way it should be.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
should have
man.
always been that way. It should have always been up to the states to decide. And
Right.
if you don't like what your state's doing, either vote or go somewhere else. I mean,
That's just
mean,
good.
Or change it, or run yourself, whatever. I mean, or
oh, I know with
raise money for somebody else to run to get the other jerk out.
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there's
I'm going to be
always
involved.
something.
Well, I'm actually part of my child's PTA, and I've always said they're going to get to know who I am because I'm going to be going to every school board meeting, you
Oh,
name it.
it's
I'm going
her
to
again.
know what
Oh,
you're
my
doing.
goodness.
I'm going to know what's going on because I'm not going
Mhm.
to have someone come in and try to teach my child something that I didn't approve of.
Right.
So I'm going to be kind of a
Well, that's something I'm
nosy
upset
person.
with California about. They're like, yeah, the teachers union really pushing hard. Like, nah, if they want to change their gender, you don't even have to tell their parents. And that is incomprehensible to
That's-
me. I mean, who's paying the
Yeah.
bills? Who brought this child into the world? I mean, they're basically saying what's on their mind and their heart is, we own your children and we will own. I mean,
Yeah, to come into for our kids, it's like a threat.
they've
All in
been
all.
coming. I mean,
They have
all
been.
in our lifetime.
Thankfully, that COVID came. That's the only positive thing that COVID came to parents' awareness of what was going on in the schools. That's probably
That
one of
was
the
But
best things.
nothing
wild.
made
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
nothing made me matter than the child thing with the schools.
Upper
And I'll tell
Valley
you why,
PTA.
in a different way. You think you know what I'm going to say. You don't. I kind of got mad at the parents.
I know.
Nobody
school.
comes after you and really gets mad until you squat and take a dump in their yard. And then when it's in their backyard,
Yeah.
they'll get all. But where were they when people were dying and falling off the planes in Afghanistan and the 13, all that withdrawal and billions of dollars left on the battlefield, a total disaster? Where were they when the complicity and the weakness of leadership led
Yes.
to the Ukraine-Russian war,
Right.
which would have, I believe, under stronger leadership, never have happened? Where
No,
were
it should have
they
never
in
been on
all
there.
these other instances, in all these rapes and murders from the border? And they've not spoke out about it. But you touch my children, okay, F your children. I don't care. If you can't speak out about it all, shut up.
Right.
I
There
know
you
that's
go.
harsh, but you should care
Yeah.
about it all.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Every day.
Because Afghanistan, we left children
That was so
behind.
infuriating.
We left women behind. We left
Yeah.
American
85
citizens behind
billion
enemy lines to be beheaded, raped, murdered.
Mhm.
It should have never happened.
Exactly. I hear that.
But
KatyDid
we're
would
just
be
going
a great remake of Harper Valley PTA, like Barbara Eden did in the 70s. KatyDid would be great in the 2020s. playing that
Harper
part.
Valley PT.
Yeah, she has that really
Oh, yeah.
has that wholesome look about her. She could do it.
Thanks.
I hear you.
Can you do that, or the parade wave?
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. There you go. Woo, vote for me.
Vote for me. Vote for KatyDid.
Two
Yeah.
hands. Woo. Look behind, no hands.
Go ahead, Mom.
Just hands.
Yeah. Long fingers.
That was the
Look at
last thing
that,
I
man.
saw at the
She's
Democrat
Spider-Woman.
convention was they did the Democrat
Scary.
clapping. They're going like this.
She's got more
Well-
testosterone than most men. And it's certainly everybody here on the panel.
Well, I am a hairdresser,
Simplify.
so I guess the
Yeah.
long fingers.
You
go
are a
too.
what?
I'm a
Hairdresser.
hairdresser.
And don't tell me you're a soccer mom or I may fall in love.
No, not there yet.
Oh,
The kids
okay,
ain't
all right.
old enough yet.
Sarah Palin. Yeah.
And they
I
ain't
don't
played soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call that
Play
football.
Yeah. Your kids play
British
football,
call it
baseball, basketball.
Hey, Mrs. G.
Balls. This is good stuff. How you doing?
We got a good crowd
Hey.
for a Saturday night. you
Proud.
know?
Wow. Thanks for
Yeah.
I
coming.
mean, considering all
everybody.
that's going on.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Thank you.
But
Thank
we're
you.
not even safe in our own country anymore. I mean, I can imagine living on the border and watching so many people just come in here blithely and
We have part of the
I-
Chinese army in Texas. They've been marching through, was it Garland, Texas, about a month ago. That's
well, I mean,
scary.
Trump's right about it. It is an invasion, and he should
It
treat
is.
it that way.
Yeah.
Let's take a vote.
That's
You know,
what I'm
and
saying. I can't wait for him to get in office.
Me too.
I think he's got a lot more things to fix than he did the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing Trump, he's gonna get things fixed quickly. Now, do I think he can happen like that? No.
no, but I
he's gonna
bet
get on
it can happen. Like I said, Reagan, it took a couple of years to turn around, but I think with Trump, and if it do well with the Senate and House, or even if we don't, and he won't have to do it all with the executive order like Biden did. But I think if anybody can turn it around quickly, it's him, because he's got that business acumen. I think we saw it years ago when he first came in. He turned around things very quickly. This guy
Yes.
don't let grass grow under his feet.
Right.
I remember during the Trump time, we were all making good money. I mean, my customers, their jobs were great, which helped me as a hairdresser, and and then COVID happened, and
no tax on tips. No tax on tips.
Isn't that great?
Thank you.
That's brilliant, and it's decades. It should have happened decades ago.
It should have.
Yeah. But he's the only one that'll say it. Look, why don't we move the headquarters of Israel to Tel Aviv? Everybody talks about it, but he did it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's been the most pro-Israel, and yet they call him Hitler. How's that?
I don't get it. Yeah, right.
They're talking out both sides of their hat.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump's 6'3". Hitler was what, 5 foot?
We believe science over facts. What the?
No, he's taller than that.
Well, they call Israel Nazi Germany. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
There go daddy duties. Okay. See you, Ray. Thanks for coming in. Hey.
Yeah, kiss that new baby for us.
Ray.
No baby.
Travis says Trump for dictator. Well, we don't want a dictator.
Day one,
he'll probably rule like one, but in a more positive way. Try to get things done.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for election night.
Okay.
When if he wins, and just see the total meltdowns again that we can just rewatch over and over. It's I don't know, but after that debate with the Democrats freaking out, I'm like, this is kind of close to 2016 freak out.
It is.
So I love it. My husband still watches all those highlights of that election night.
I mean, look how things have turned around very quickly. Now, he was gaining ground before that, but he went into hyperdrive and the stratosphere in the last month or so. It's been wild to watch. Just the whole thing, just the pendulum just go whoop.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And you knew it was going to happen, and like you said, it could have been a setup, pre-planned.
I think it is. I just can't think how they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Why would they even let him on there unless there's a plan behind it? I mean, it's a little odd. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're just holding your breath and crossing your fingers, that he might make through. But they had to know how bad he has slid down. And with this, you gradually get worse. There is no getting better. And you might have some up days and down, but you're only going to go up. And they knew his level. They've been monitoring it. I mean, it came out that they had, that expert coming in or whatever about Parkinson's and all that. So if you're doing that, you're not just checking him out. You're treating him for something,
Yeah.
If you visit the White House that many times. Every month,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and who knows, maybe they're leaking all this for our benefit, but it's, they want to hold on to power, and it's not, you don't hear about liberty. You don't hear anything about pro-America. It's just beat down. It was the same thing. Jimmy Carter, nice guy, but I mean, that don't cut it. Look, I'm sorry. He gave the Malays speech. we're going to have to turn our, oh, there's not enough energy to go around. You're not hearing that out of Trump. We got
No.
enough fuel. And like I say, the president that comes in next, I don't care if it is Harry Potter or Jiminy Cricket. I don't care. Or a donut, a pet rock that sits there.
Pet rock.
Or a troll. I don't
Hey,
care.
hello.
Sean, how you doing?
He's not a troll.
Good.
Sean,
Hey, Sean.
Welcome.
The next person that comes in, though, let me finish my thought, which is just simply this. Since we've got all this natural resources underneath us, we're going to drill, baby, drill till, we come up with some alternative. In the meantime, we'll be funding and making alternative, algae, whatever you want to do. That's gonna be, whatever. That's Obama's thing. But I mean, in the meantime, let's use what works.
Yeah.
And I think it's right on that, because we got enough to supply the world for 2-3 years, 2 or 300 years.
Mm-hmm.
When they find something better, let's go to it. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Spoken Right says Arkansas Constitution says candidate for president must be set minimum 6 months before election. Biden is damned candidate in November here, so he's set. I don't think they're going to get anybody to replace him.
Oh, I thought he was going to say it must be minimum 6 feet tall.
Well,
Yeah,
it could be.
Voting. Like
every state is different. He's already missed it in Ohio, and if they do replace him, it's almost going to have to be Kamala, or they're going to have to return those hundreds of millions of dollars to the donors, and they may put the money to the House or Senate and not the presidency this time if you do that. And they're not going to want to refund that money. But the only way to retain that money is either run Biden or run the vice president.
That's true.
I hope not. I don't want Kamala.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wants Kamala.
Don't want camel toe in the White House. Hell no. Camel toe Harris for president. No thanks.
I never heard that one. Didn't want to hear that. Wow, with the lighting on. But anyway.
John, your mic is vibrating or something.
Yeah, it was. I had something going on in the background. I was just checking it, make sure everything's good.
Okay.
It's good to see you, Sean.
Good to see you too.
Gain. I'm going to turn down your gain a little bit.
It's like, just been busy trying to get everything in order for the campaign tomorrow.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, why don't we go ahead and share your screen if you want? I'll put it up there. We'll talk about your project.
Okay, cool.
See it.
Yeah, yes. Cody Valiant.
And who knows, KatyDid may invite you on her channel too.
There you go.
Yes, I have. Yeah,
I'm looking for some channels to go on. I gotta fund my comic project.
Yes,
come on to my channel. Come on.
All right, I'll do it. Let's set something up.
Hey, y'all come to KatyDid's channel, promote your books.
That sounds good.
Amen. Yes. That'd be great. I'd like to come on her channel too with my family.
Yes, you all welcome. Come on my channel. Of course, I would love to.
Well,
I really enjoy promoting people. It's been great, especially when I get feedback the next day of, man, I got this many backers. Thank you so much. It was great. It's
so
great
do you
experience.
Look at as like a consumer mostly, because it's a lot of people are I can see where it's kind of a dichotomy with them, right? That it's, if I do a review and it's bad, it may offend, and you're kind of sticky wicket. You're in between if you do reviews. So not everybody, there's not a lot of people like you out there willing to actually give an impartial review on some of these things.
Yeah, because to me, I feel like when I do my reviews, I think that the person who made the comic would want my honest review. Like they want my honesty.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, those are very much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I even said about John Malin's comic.
Honest reviews are very much.
Where do I send the check?
Hey, good stuff.
But with John Malin's comic, I said this comic is great, but John, this is short. Why is it short? Are you going to keep going with it? So And he did say, I sent him a super chat to John Malin the other day and asked him, I said, "Are you going to continue Black Riding Hood?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna continue." I'm like, thank God, because that was the one thing I was so mad. I was like, "This is so good, but it's so short, and I want more. Damn it!"
Good
We
stuff.
want more. Yes.
Yeah.
Little Black
Well,
Riding
I mean,
Hood.
people just want characters
book.
that have good characterization, that you humanize them to a point where they're not two-dimensional anymore, and you can relate to something. And sometimes just in one book, that's hard to establish a good foundation, but it can be done, if you know what you're doing. Um,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
and
plus I think what
Right.
makes me different
Nice.
from other people reviewing is I'm a normie. I'm
how dare
someone
you?
who
I like
was
that.
a manga reader coming to here,
Yeah.
and so I think that's something that, because I guess you have people who have been comic fans for a long time, but what does a normie think of my comic? Like, what
Yeah.
can I do to, and that's what I said about John Malin's book. I said this is actually a great book to introduce a normie to comics because it is so good. The art is so good. The story, the what ifs at the end, like, it just makes you like speculate and guess and wonder and come up with theories. And
Mhm.
and like I said, I'm a mom on a mission to find really good books for my children. So
Mongers.
it's been a lot of fun, very much a blessing. So I'm very thankful. So
So have you covered how you actually kind of came in the back door to all this? Was it
Oh yeah,
Comic
oh,
you.
Gate?
well,
Oh yeah, I heard you were like a Rippaverse fan, and somehow you're like, no, I don't really like this book. Or, is that how it went? Or I don't know.
yeah, so how it went was I was a fan of Eric July and the FNT group and all for a long time
Yeah.
as a conservative. I used to watch Eric July do the Montage Your Haters, and when he was coming out with ISOM, um, it was around the time of, because I couldn't get ISOM 1 at the time, but ISOM
Yeah.
2 was coming out, and I was like, well, I'll get it because he was talking about you can still buy the ISOM 1 book. And I was like, good, I want to buy this for my son. I think this is great. At the time, he was preaching that this is a non-woke comic, and this is a way to fight the cancel culture and put out good stories. I was like, great, that'd be perfect. I just had my son, and I was like, great, I would love to get those books. And I remember seeing the animated trailer. I was so excited for it, and
Yeah.
things kind of, there were some red flags along the way. And then, to make a long story short, I would say that probably the Nick Rekieta stream sealed the deal for me, because
Oh
I already
yeah.
had I had some red flags, and I just didn't like the attitude, like,
Yeah.
of what he was doing. It really turned me off because I was like, you're supposed to come in and not be what you preach to hate. Like, you're becoming the thing you hate. And so I was listening to, it was after the Rekieta stream. I was running around doing errands, and I was listening to Eric, and he was going on about Rekieta, AVS, Take Mass. I mean, it was one of those streams where he just let out everything. So I had
Yeah.
to pause it, and I got out of the car, and I said, well, I'll finish listening to it while I'm washing these dishes. I get on there, and the stream's gone. It's gone. It's not
Ooh.
there. It's been privated. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I had a wild hair up my ass, and I said, well, I only got like 5 followers on Twitter. I probably won't get a response, but I was a little annoyed. So I got on Twitter and I said, hey, actually, Frog Tony did a video on it before him and I even met each other. So
Right.
it's wild. And I pretty much explained, hey, I heard that you were talking about Dick. I tagged all of them, every one of them. And I said, why did you private the stream? Why don't you stand by your convictions? Stand by how you feel, rather it's gossip or not. Like, if that's how you really feel, then why are you private it? Why are you hiding it? Like, be a man, stand up for what you believe and what you feel. Don't run from it. My phone went off for 2 days constant. I mean,
Oh.
buzzing notifications. I had to turn my phone off at one point because it wouldn't stop. I had Dick Masterson retweeted. I had EVS retweeted. I had Nick Rekieta comment on it. And then Eric July commented on it. And he says, well, I don't private my streams. You're just you're just drama farming. I don't know what you're thinking. And I said, dude, I've
I
been
was
on
denying.
YouTube. Yeah. I said, dude, you've been on YouTube long. I've been on YouTube long enough. I know what a stream looks, because he was claiming it was for members only. I said, no, it's private.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, it's like that because I had a copyright strike. And I'm like, of your trailer? That was the only thing you played. So he was lying. And I'll have to send y'all the video of Tony.
Yeah.
He goes over my tweet.
Yeah.
So I got so tired of just my phone because everybody was attacking me. I had some people that were like, no, she's right. This stream is privated. And luckily, Tony was able to get that stream. So he actually EFAP'd it that night. And so, yeah, my phone was just blowing up. From group of fans just coming after me left and right, just dragging me through the dirt just for speaking out. Well, then I got onto Frog Tony's stream, and I shared my story that I was looking for some good comics for my son to have, and I've been really wanting to get into it. I've been listening and watched Comicsgate for several years on the sideline. I never really went into it. I was one of those casual watchers and stuff, and when all that happened, I got on Tony's stream, and the rest is history, and here I am. And actually what got it going was I clipped Yellow Flash when all that shit happened, where he got rid of Comicsgate community on Twitter. He put out EVS page rate and all that stuff. And so Yellow Flash came out with a statement that night, and I recorded it, and I put it on my channel. And there was another one too I got. And before I knew it, he showed it on Trashcast. And so EVS is like, hey, have you followed Miss Rowdy Downey on Twitter? Oh, and it's KatyDid's channel. She's got some great clips. So I just started kind of clipping, because I know Tony was using it to EFAP with. So I said, well, let me get these clips and not only help Trashcast, but let me help content creators who want it. Because what he does is after he does a stream, Yellow Flush. After he does a stream, he makes it members only, so nobody's able to go and watch it. Well, I'm a member, and so I was able to go and get those and clip it. And I have to thank Ethan Van Sciver for that. He really, my channel blew up. People were really excited for me coming off Rock Tony's channel, just speaking my mind and how I feel about everything. And and the rest is history, and it's been an absolute blessing. And so to me, I was like, Comicsgate's been so good to me, as a mom of 2 kids, a normie coming in and just expressing like what I want for my children. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to pay it back. So I've had comic artists come on, promote their campaigns, help them, because to me, it's not only for them fulfilling a dream, they're putting food on the table and paying the bills to support their family. And as a mother, I'm all about supporting people's families. And if
and also it's content, it's free content for your channel, but that's the way you meet new people. That's when we really,
I did one stream. It was a 7-hour stream. Probably never do that again, but
it takes a toll.
Well, we were EFAPing EVS and Eric July when they first had their debate.
I remember that. Yeah.
Because I told people, said, nobody's talking about before Dick came on. We need to go back and see what was that conversation. Because I remember it. I actually watched it live when it all happened. But, it had been a minute. So I had B.A. This first time I met B.A. Turner. I had Jimmy Ray show up. I was like, oh my God, is CG Kings? Oh my, okay. And Kami Mark came on. It's just been great since then. I'm so glad I can help comic artists with their campaigns. I've backed so many. I've got 2 boxes full of comics that I'm looking forward to reading and reviewing. And it's so nice. And I've got some books like Salty on Silent Do Good. He gave me a couple copies. So right now we're reading like typical, like basic children's book for my son, and more of the advanced stuff for my daughter. But I plan to take those comics like Salty's comic and actually do story time with them. And so, because I think you can, and I love that I can share that with my kids, and if that's my way of helping support them by not only backing them but promoting them, sharing their links, share, when I'm a mod on Shane Davis's channel, so I try to share out as much links as I can. With B.A. Turner, with his 2 debates we've done, he's gotten a lot of backers and subscribers on his channel because I was streaming that too and getting BA's stuff out, and he's done really well, and it's so nice, and it's been great to meet so many wonderful, talented people, and I'm understand the criticism of, well, she's just a tourist, she's not, she's Miss CG, she doesn't know anything. Well, how do you expect to get new customers coming into Comicscape or in the indie comics in general?
Right.
How do you expect to get new people coming in if that's the impression you have? Oh, you're just tourists. You don't know nothing about comics. You didn't grow up like we did. Well, okay, so what? But I'm here now.
Everybody has to start sometime. And
that's
somewhere.
right. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, God forbid, I'm sorry.
Hey,
I didn't know I had to go through
Hello.
initiation and be quizzed on every little thing, so, but my goal being here too is I just want to really motivate these comic artists to find a way to do an all children's age book. So, like, for instance, Andy Smith and Dennis Turner are doing their core draft Christmas book.
Yeah, that looks good.
And I actually had Andy Smith and Dennis Turner on a couple of Mondays ago, and that was great. Talk about nervousness. Whew, I was like,
no,
oh
they're
God,
a good
okay.
couple
Andy
of
Smith's
guys.
coming on. Oh, okay.
He's very cool. Very cool.
He
people.
is. Yeah. They were lovely. But we were talking about that, and he agreed with me. He's like, yeah, I think CG needs to have more all ages book. Because I do have some books that I'm not going to be able to give to my son until he's a little older and mature.
Right.
But they're there. I've got this book from this age to this age, from this age to this age. So it covers the whole, the whole age, as they're growing up. But that's my encouragement, because if we don't think about the generation that we have now, like my kids, if we don't focus on them and get them to start reading comics, there's no way the industry or the indie community is going to grow. We've got to get these kids interested in it again. We've got to get them to read these books.
I think through the crowdfunding distribution and what Ethan and others have been able to do, Shane, is remarkable. And even what Rip has done, even though he's been on different platforms, I mean, Yellow Flash is on an ever, certain level. Whatever, I think, it takes many, like John Malin says, many oars, grab an oar, we all do our part. And I think all the momentum is on the indie scene right now. Certainly not much is happening over at Marvel or DC, or a lot of people opted out,
Well, and my biggest critique there's a lot with Eric being a detractor. We've got a couple problems. But the thing that really bothered me was he put out that video of comics, like how to make a comic or something. I can't believe I can't think of the name of it, but he was putting crowdfunding, like giving crowdfunding a bad name. Pretty much saying, well, this person's got a crowdfunder, but they haven't updated in forever. And that happens. You're going to get some of those wherever you go.
How does he arrive at that though? Because he made millions doing it.
He thinks well, I'm going to say some, but he doesn't say the word some. He believes that crowdfunding is just an easy way for people to make money, and they should do it his way. And I'm a little bit like, excuse me, just because there's a couple bad apples in the barrel doesn't mean all of them are bad. Like, there's really good people like y'all and others that have campaigns. They printed the book and it's shipped. Now, I will give Eric credit for shipping. That's great. I think that's great. I have nothing against what his shipping is. I think that's awesome. But I really don't like the way he got crowdfunding. I didn't like the way he went after Immortal Rising, Aaron, and giving him $700 so he can.
I'm leery of anybody that speaks in generalities. Like all Germans were bad or all Japanese in World War II. No, they weren't.
Right.
you know, I mean, yes, that's who we were fighting, but you've got to know who your enemy is, and then who's just like, you know, some of those people were suppressed and pressed into service. So, you know, there's some gray area there, and it
And
just
no, and
amazes me that he would criticize something that helped him make money, you know, on his own campaigns, millions and millions of dollars,
Right.
you know.
Anyway, he was kind of crowdfunding on his own website. Well, what's the
Yeah.
difference
Well,
in
there's
that?
different ways
You
you
know?
can do it.
the
For
Yeah,
difference
sure.
that's
with
right.
that is he's not paying it. So like, Indiegogo and
Right.
Fund My Comic, which by the way, if anybody does have a Fund My Comic, I'm probably going to promote that more than Indiegogo
Yeah.
because Fund My Comic doesn't take so much out of your pocket.
Right.
Um,
And
what
you
he
can get a
did
hold of
was
somebody if you have a problem. Hello, that means a lot.
exactly. So when
Right.
he made his website, he was trying to get past that where he didn't want to pay a fee.
Right.
So I'll give him
Well,
props for that. You put
Yeah.
it on your website and it worked out well. But
That's
he's getting away from so he didn't have to pay a high fee to Indiegogo or
That's true.
right.
whatnot.
Well,
I just
that's
don't like
kind of
the way
like a
he attacked it.
poverty spirit to me. You make millions and you don't want to give like 100. I mean, let's say Cyberfrog did a million. Okay, they get certain percentage, whatever. I mean, yeah, I give them 100,000. I mean, you might not want to do that, but you're using their platform. You agree to it. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's ways around it. You're that big. Maybe you need to get your own website. But I mean,
Right.
to blanket, you know, carpet bomb all the crowdfunding and that, you know, there's people that don't deliver. Certainly there are, like you said, a
Yeah.
few bad pickles in the barrel, but
Yeah.
that shouldn't preclude you from being I think in everything we should do, we should be discerning and selective and,
Yeah.
you know, and maybe test the waters and see what this person about. It's not so much about the project. You're selling yourself, you know,
That's
you're
true.
getting
Mhm.
people to know you and something about you. And do we share something in common? Do I think that you can have a good product too, you know, and I hate to call it a product, but, you know,
That's what it is.
it is in a way. So,
Yeah, it's
But
absolutely.
like a
it's
it's a
the thing of it
situation
is
of
like
it's a
go ahead.
situation basically of like you have to be the product before like people can get a hold to the product that you have. You have to be the
Yeah.
voice of it, like
And I
initially out
think
the
you
gate.
have to, I have to think that you have to show yourself reliable, that you're going to deliver. Now, when in crowdfunding, you're not really promised anything. You're making a
No.
pledge, you know, a
Right.
donation, if you will. But I mean, it is a pledge or donation with the expectation of it being delivered to you. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, there's, you know, let's don't parse words on that. You know, people
Right.
expecting their thing in a timely manner, and they deserve that, and they
Yeah.
deserve
And that's totally
updates and
understandable.
huh?
Like for instance, there's people who have criticism of EVS. Oh, you're taking Rainbow Brute so long.
Mhm.
And then that sucks. And I can understand people's aggravation with that. I get it. But also he's explained himself multiple times of why it's taken so long.
Right.
I personally I think it's all about updating your backers. I think that's the most
Yep.
important
Yeah.
thing. You need to stay in touch with them. You need to update them. You
Absolutely.
need to let them know. But I mean, I know that there's some criticisms of there's some CG crowdfunding that's scam and never fulfilled their problem, and it sucks. I hate that because
Yeah.
To the tune
it's
of
making
millions
everybody
of
else look
dollars,
bad in a sense, and it's
millions of
like,
dollars have been
Right.
yeah,
fleeced from people. No doubt about it.
Right.
You
yeah,
know, there was that one book that earned like $600,000 that was like never delivered. That was the time Cyber Frog 2 was coming out, launching and coming out. It had already earned that money, and it was like number 2 of all time there on Indiegogo. It was at Icarus or something like that, and they didn't deliver. And so I can see where that makes people gun
yeah.
shy, but just
And I
make
can
sure you know
understand
where
it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it makes it harder for people who have first time campaigns. And
Yeah.
I've heard backers, and it's fair when they say, I will
Yeah.
not back a first time campaign because they want them to prove themselves. And I don't blame them, you know?
Right.
and well, that's the thing that I also try to do when I'm promoting campaigns is I really try to share their YouTube channels. Because to me, if we can get people's eyes on their YouTube channels, they can get to know the person that they are almost willing to back. Like, you're getting to know them personally. You're sitting there in the chat having conversations with them. I think that's the thing too, is you need to be able to kind of build somewhat of an audience, and get them to get to know you as a person.
Right.
So then that way, when you are putting out your campaign, people already can trust you and say, okay, well, I've listened to this person a long time, I'm going to back it. I can understand the people being upset about crowdfunding. It's very understandable. You put in a lot of money and you don't get what you've asked for, and it's sad because it hurts everybody else, and it shouldn't. If anything, it should be something like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that person. And it's a lesson for comic creators. Like, okay, well, this is where this person messed up. Well, I'm not going to do that. So it's a lesson learned in a way, if that makes sense. Like,
right. I'm extremely grateful for the people that have made this mistakes before me. It's like, whoop, you show me where the trap was or the pitfall, and hopefully you learn from that, But I mean, I'm on the, I was thinking even up to recently, for over 2.5 years, I've been on every day on YouTube. And that time I've only missed due to funerals and things like that, or being knocked off the internet for my internet for like 4 days before I could get it fixed. 17 days out of 2.5 years. So I'm on there every day, and I'm thinking my show is the update. I've still got people coming in my chat going, how's the campaign? When are we going to get the book? Or, and it's like, I need to send out an official update to all the people who backed or signed up, just so.
And that's the key.
It really is. Yeah. Even if you're inconstant and you're out there all the time, even not just on my channel, but other shows like this, on other people's channels.
Right.
It's not enough. You assume people. I found this out with my Ashcan last year or the year before. You go into a chat and you go, hey, everybody. They're going, oh, go sign up for Rex's book. No, I've already in demand. Oh, well, then go buy. You just assume they know. They don't know.
Yep.
Don't assume they know.
Let them know. Yeah.
You gotta be your own self promoter, but you can have help in that. I mean, that's why you have people that come in and they generally, if you give them what they want, they'll be glad to promote you. You build the better wheel or better mousetrap. They really will help you out.
Well, let's go take a look at Sean. Sean Fry's got a campaign. If you would share it, share your page.
Yeah, let's
go ahead, Katie.
Let's look at it.
Okay.
Y'all got the vegetables ready?
Get your veggies ready. Throw it at the screen.
I'm sorry, I ate all the popcorn. I could have thrown some of that.
Well, yeah, that's why you're late. So.
Yeah, and it was good too.
I bet it was. Did you butter it?
Do you like a lot of butter on it? Yeah, I was about to say, how much butter?
I'm out of butter. I got paid today, but my bank's not open till Monday.
Butter steaks.
Might as well not even get paid. Yeah, I'm out of butter. I'm gonna stock up on that. That's one thing I got to have.
Put your butter in. There we go.
Some of that seasoning.
It's Cody Valiant, everybody.
Indiegogo project. There we go.
Yep, it's not open yet, but the email part's still open for it right now. But this is pretty much this is gonna be how the campaign's set up, or what it looks like. And a few of the tiers and things. It's a little bio of Cody that you get to learn because he's a space outlaw and things like that.
I've seen this, and I've seen you on other shows.
I may have backed it one time.
Yep. Yeah, and this time Cody's.
Is this the second book? Okay.
Yeah, this is the second book. Is, even though it says number 1 on it, but this is actually the second book so far. It's 0 to number 1. Because it's a thing that I did with my dad. Basically, we need like a little quirky thing like with our books. Usually for us, instead of just doing the number 1, we start at 0 first. 0 is usually the origin of each character, and like each series that we do is 0. Then you go into 1. 1 is when the series is actually starting, when you get to actually see the story part. And like with the first one, it was like we were just introducing you to Cody and the Zero, basically. And he had like a little barroom brawl with a few like giant alien biker gang called the Oinks. And this one is he's having a dueling battle with these other two bounty hunters that's after him, because it's a bounty that was placed on his head. So now two other bounty hunters are after him.
But yeah, go and tap something in the chat, and I'll go and get you a wrench.
Oh,
So
let me ask you this, Sean. If would I be able to get the other issue, the Census issue 2? Am I able to get the issue 0? Okay, so I can be able to be caught up with the story.
Yeah, I got it in the feature tier, and then you can also just get them separately too. Like if you already had the 0, you can just grab the 1 off of this one and like that. But you like on this campaign, you can get both of them together.
Okay,
and
awesome.
Yep, and then like
and when is this?
You got a T-shirt?
Yep, I got a T-shirt.
When is this? When is this launching? When is this launching?
It's launching tomorrow.
Okay.
It is launching tomorrow around 12.
Okay.
About 12 or so.
That's a good
And then
time.
I'm gonna be
it's
on
good enough for EABS. It should be good enough for you.
Yep, and then after that, I'm gonna be on Critical Blast like around 7 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Just
good.
Cool.
Hey.
Yeah, and this one's just a labor of love. Like you get we're gonna have like a little preview page of like the artwork and the characters that you can read up on real quick. Just like little early things. Like I tell my dad, like this is like his best work yet so far out of the 8 books we've done so far as a team. Because I'm the writer, he's the artist, and then it's just a family business, and we just his love of comics like was passed down to me, like what Katie was saying, basically the next generation of artists, like because the thing was like my dad was a comic book artist, but he wasn't a strong writer. And for me, I was a stronger writer, but I wasn't a stronger artist. So we kind of fill in each other's gaps, basically.
That's great.
So
what companies did your dad work for?
He hasn't really worked for any companies or anything, but it was always his dream to do it, like work on like comics and things like that. Like he like grew up in the 90s and stuff, like, and he's talked to other artists and things like that, but he just never really felt really strong about it. It wasn't until like that he found that I was into it that it like reinvigorated him into it. Because
cool.
I met a lot of his buddies and stuff like that. Like, man, your son's so cool. I wish my kids were in the comics.
Wants to know who's your dad?
Doc's your dad for
my dad. His name is also Sean Fry.
Sean Fry.
Okay, Sean Fry and Sean Fry.
Nice.
Junior.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's like everything we've been working on is just a labor of love. It's a family business. Like
cool.
We've been doing this for forever. Just haven't done it like publicly and out in the open and things like that. But this is just something that like it's a passion project for us and things like that. And
how did you come to the crowdfunding solution?
For me, basically I was just studying, learning from a few other people because initially I was on Kickstarter first before I found about Indiegogo. I was on Kickstarter first, backing books and things like that. I was listening to a few other creators and things like that, and they was giving me examples, and then I was like, oh, just backing books and things like that. I was like, okay. So eventually, this is what we're gonna do when we get to that point. And basically, from there, we've been just launching, doing okay, but we've been learning just about like how to just market better, get our names out there better, and things like that.
Is shadow banning a concern for you?
I would say I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like you have like you promote your stuff, you putting it out there like as best you can. You know people are seeing it, but then also you battling like Facebook, Instagram, you battling like the algorithm, which kind of pushes your stuff down because they don't want you to promote something that's gonna pull people off their site. So it's kind of hard and tricky in those lights, but but pretty much in-person sales and things like that, like offline, like we've done really well. So it's like now we're trying to translate that better online. And
are you going through like Amazon or any places like that? Bigger avenues.
Plan on getting ready to go through Amazon soon. Like right now, we've just been selling through our website and then just crowdfunding basically. And the way we use our crowdfunding basically is more of in the Eric July sense is like a pre-order in a sense because I've learned a lot of lessons from like the other like indie creators and things like that. Like we always want to try to get our artwork and stuff done. And all we doing right now is doing cleanup stuff, like make sure the words are right, making sure like Dad feels really comfortable, like with like certain pages, artwork, and little things like that. But that's something like little tricks that we've learned from other creators. Like we want to make sure the project is pretty much done. Like we're just doing cleanup work on it, and this book is pretty much done. Like the book is all the way done. With this one,
excellent, very cool.
Yeah, and it's just been just a cool little labor of love, like with our things, like because it's like little cool fun house ads and stuff we put in the backs of the books to companies and stuff that's in world products and things like that you sometimes will see on like the back of the books. You'll see like an in world product that we selling in the books and things like that.
You know, that character reminds me of Michael Cera. This would be like a good Michael Cera movie.
I've heard a few. I've heard a few
American
of like,
Greatest Hero Cats.
It does have William Cat's hair
with that hair. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, the hair was like my dad's idea. Like he's like, I want to give him Cody something like really retro that was still like pop with him. And then that's when he came up with the hair form. And then I was like, okay, we got that established on Cody. Okay, like I want to give him like my influence, like because it's like it's two different generations coming together. Because my dad's influence is from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, like the early 90s. Mine's is the late 90s, 2000s, 10s.
Thank you, Howler.
So it's just a mashup of like our different generations because it's his traditional comics that he grew up with, and then there's a lot of my anime influence, and that's why like Cody has a good influence of both.
So how many pages are in there?
This one, the number one issue is over 60 pages. It's
wow.
60? Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice big book because that's my biggest thing. Like with my dad, like
that blows me
he always want to give you. He always want to give you your money's worth. He want to make
you got a few floppies, but I mean like you mentioned B.A. Turner, KatyDid, and
yes.
why the name KatyDid, or did they already ask you that before I got here?
Well, I got that name when I was a kid. I actually have a tattoo of it. Okay. It's always been my nickname because I was a little shit back in the day. So, like you said, KatyDid what?
And she's not now, folks. Let's just make that sure.
It really works for you.
It does.
Yeah. She's a grasshopper? What the? No, there's a difference.
Grasshopper.
No, it's a bug and it's an asshole.
That's the pebble from my hand. KatyDid.
The asshole bug. Da, 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 da. Another Warner Brothers cartoon. Never released.
Oh,
that's usually when
put
HEX
some
comes
links in the private chat. I have some of his links from his website and his YouTube channel.
Brilliant.
I don't know if I'm a mod yet, but I will at least share that.
Something in the chat. Let me mod you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Katie. Don't be a segregist,
Oh, there we go. Okay, good. And let's see. Do this properly. Here we go.
Yeah, I still got all his links when he came on my show long ago. I still got
with the mod wrench. Ta-da.
Yes. Yay.
Are you one of those that keep up? I don't, but how many campaigns that you back, Katie?
Yeah, I was there for a minute and I lost count. I think I've backed over 20 campaigns.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I backed a lot. Yeah, and very thankful. And so yeah, I was like, I still got his links from last time he was on my show. I was like, here's his website, here's his YouTube channel, and all that. And I updated the link, Sean, because last time you gave me the link when the campaign was already closed. So
Right.
I updated that link. So I'll make sure
Okay,
to
sweet.
share all that when I'm in Shane's channel, whatever. I'll make sure to share this campaign in
Cool,
those.
cool.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
and yeah, we've been doing really well. Like all our local comic book shops have been picking us up now and putting us in. We've done
Nice.
like a free comic book
Awesome.
day like a few months ago, and I was nervous when I first came into that because I was like, okay, this is like our first test. Like, okay, like with our books, like, okay, is our books versus Superman versus Batman versus Spider-Man in the sense it's like, okay, let's see how well we do sitting next to the other books. And I was nervous going into it, but like after that, it was like after the first one, then it was like it just kept snowballing. It was like really good. So I was like, okay, cool. It's like people see our books and it's like really nice, like to know that okay, we can sit on the shelf next to other people and then people can still pick us up and things like that. And it's always a really cool feeling, like when somebody like really just checks out your stuff and then is really like excited about the next part to it and things like that. And that's pretty much what we've been doing, like from locally, and then slowly starting to expand out into other places. I've been told like a lot of things, like people really love Cody, like because initially
Yeah.
like my dad was like on the fence with him, like he's really excited about the character, he created him, but he didn't know, he couldn't really gauge like how like the popularity for him was. And I was like, no, Dad. I was like, Cody's gonna be the character. Cody's gonna be the icebreaker, like for everybody to get the introductory character to get to know who we are and what we work on in other books like that. Because we're building a shared universe of characters and things like that. And each book is connected. Like you can just read Cody and understand everything that's going on in the other books going on in our universe. And the rest of it's just icing on the cake, all with all our other titles and things like that. And slowly picking up different things, like working on like animation shorts. I made like a little cool Cody animated short that you
Oh,
can check out on like my YouTube channel. And then
I think I saw
like
that before. It's really good.
Is that you,
yeah,
Is that you,
That's him.
Katie? Biff, Bam, Boom
yep,
Comics?
yep,
Biff
that's me.
Bam Boom
Okay.
Comics. Yeah, that's right. Go
I think
get it,
that's
y'all.
awesome. It's a family like that you and your dad or I
I did
think
too.
that's so cool. I mean,
Yeah,
this is something that you can share, for the next generation in your family. And I think that it's really cool to see a father and son and a family
Yeah,
work
pull up
together to
this
make a
short.
great book. Yeah.
Definitely.
and
Yeah, yeah, dude.
you were talking
Pull it up.
about
Let's see that.
passing the torch. I and Apex a couple years ago interviewed Steve Rude, and he was talking about that. About passing the torch to the next generation, like Jack Kirby and others like
Yeah.
that passed it to him, and Mike Barron, and others that were maybe had worked in comics but were kind of the newer generation, like Frank Miller and Bill said. Now they're old hat, 40 years into it or more. But you know um it is about passing the torch. It's pretty cool from father to son, and it's become
Yeah.
harder, I think, because you don't have spinner racks. They're not in groceries, they're not in
I miss
pharmacies.
Spinnerax. That's why
Yeah.
Katie did mention we have to have young people reading comics.
Right.
Eventually, the Spinnerax may come back. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
um
Yeah.
It'll take
Maybe
time, I
hold your
know.
breath.
It can
Right.
happen. Have faith.
Yeah.
Okay, and monkeys can fly. Anyway,
And the Wizard of
I
Oz, they can, Rex.
I'm just saying, you got to
Yes.
look at distribution. I tell you what, if one thing, we need to be pressing like Scholastic books, which probably distribute more than anybody. What was that, Captain Underpants and other things like that? I
Yeah,
think
I
some
read
And
Captain
Dogman and
Underpants.
Dogman.
yeah, and they had some Spider-Man books that were Scholastic books, and some
Yes.
of the stuff that I ordered out of the schools, like Dynamite, Smash, Banana, magazines that had comics section in them early on, were some of the first exposure to some of those stories and characters that I saw, and it was all ordering through the school catalog that you get monthly. It was exciting to be able to order something like that.
yeah.
Uh, but
Yeah.
I mean, distribution. I think that's the number one thing about you know, the crowdfunding thing is, you know, it gives people an avenue that besides just going like, you can certainly go, you know, produce your book. Well, I mean, if you're starting from scratch, it helps. They become, and I love that your backers become producers. They're actually helping make the movie, the book, the TV show, or whatever you're trying to crowdfund, you know, your invention, you know, and I think that's exciting. They become producers, they come on board. And some people, I think, are looking for projects like that to get involved in and be a part of it, watch it grow. I know that was always something when you'd see a new artist or an inker or something. Ooh, he's new, and then or she's new, and then watch that person grow over the years and mature and go from this project to broad, and you kind of follow them from project to project if you like their stuff, you know. It's kind of neat to see the natural progression, and you know, sit back 5 years later and go, oh, I knew Rex when he was nothing, you know, you know, and now he's, you know, kind of grown.
Yeah.
And it's kind of satisfying, you know, as a fan, because we're all fans. I think the most passionate creators in comics are comic book fans first, or they're pop culture fans. Yes. You have to be.
Yeah, and it feels good to be a part of it, to see the process, to know that my money is helping this person not only produce an amazing comic, but is supporting their family. I think that's the most important thing to remember too, is you're helping them be able to pay the bills and continue on this dream and this journey that they're on. And to be a part of it is so amazing. And that's why I like crowdfunding, because I could see it all from the beginning, see how like the numbers growing, and seeing like getting the email and seeing like new pages and stuff, and just how exciting it is. It's awesome.
Well, let me mention some names to you. Jim Steranko, do you know who that is? John Buscema, do you know who that is? Jack Kirby, do you know who that is? Or okay, you know him. Steve Ditko, you know who that is?
That name sounds really familiar.
Okay, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, Gene Colan. Don Heck.
Names familiar.
Gil Kane. Yes. Yeah, I mean, see, you don't get into comic. My point is not to show that your knowledge or your ignorance of anything, but you know, nobody gets into comics to get rich. Nobody really gets into comics to get famous. These are legends in the field, and nobody knows their names hardly, unless they're into comics a little bit. And even if you're into comics a little bit, you might not know their names. So, you know,
but that's sad though, right?
And I think today we can do webcasting. We can, you know, get into multiple avenues. We can maybe do a TV spot. We can do it maybe like Stan Lee did in later live movies, whatever, produce our own, you know, and be better known and maybe reach that celebrity status. But
you could probably advertise in a movie theater, you know, like all these ads they show up every once in a while for businesses. That's my game. I'm thinking about doing that.
There you go.
Yeah, gotta get it out there. But that's a subject for another show.
Well, let me ask you this, Sean. Let me ask you this: what made you come up with this character? Like, what made you want to come up with this story? What was it that said, "I'm gonna do this"? What was that moment like?
For me, it was like my dad came to me. He had the name. He's like, I got this idea in my head. I got a character in my head. His name is Cody Valiant. He had the name, didn't have anything after that. Then he was like, he told me it was like a space western. I was like, okay. I got an idea where to go with the character. And then from there, I was like, okay. I was watching like a few different shows, like Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, these like animes, and I was like, if we can somehow channel some of this into Cody, I was like, the character made. He's a made man at that point. And I was like, and he watched it. He never heard of Cowboy Bebop before that, anything like that. He saw it and he was like, okay. He's like, I can see where to go with this. And then we sat down and just started developing Cody. And like he's like, I want to give him like this like Flash Gordon type of feel to him. I want to give him like this big like 70s influence and things like that. And then for me, I threw on like Cody's jacket. Basically his jacket is anime jacket, and it was like it's just the blending of the two generations coming together. Cody is the like the birth child of like both our ideas, like what things I created when I was little, things he created when he was little, and then we just merged them all together into something special. It's like it's really a blending of worlds. It's like characters my dad created a long time ago, we repurposed.
Wow.
He like his style and things like that. He loves the old 40s, the 30s, 40s characters, like the patriotic characters, the old he loves like the golden age versions of characters. Like we have a golden age of characters. He created a whole golden age like part of our universe.
How did you arrive at like the photorealistic look to this, the blending?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, my dad grew up loving like Alex Ross style. He loved like the cinematic. He always called it like the cinematic feel to it. Like I want my universe to feel like you're looking at a movie. Like this is like the characters are
looks
real.
like a movie. I can see that next week. It's in the theaters now with Michael Cera playing Cody Valiant. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like he wanted to create the big cinematic feel to it in a comic book. You wanted that like you can see you're reading a movie basically, and that's like with the characters and things like that we like try to just blend into them. Cody's demeanor and stuff is like heavily my influence, like the bad boy nature to him and things like that with Cody, because it's like when we created him, basically, it's like all the guys want to be him, and then all the girls want to be with him, and then that was like the thought with Cody.
Women love bad boys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and Cody fits that bill 100%, and then that's what we just start building with him, and like a lot of we put humor in it sometimes. Like it's more situational humor. Like it's like things like that. And it's some books that we have that have humor in it, but there's more situational humor with Cody. It's like he finds himself in weird situations and stuff, and he has to just figure his way out of the situation. Sometimes he put himself in, or a situation that it just brew in just because the personality he attracts like danger to him.
Oh, wow.
Well, what I like about this is this is something I've never seen on a comic book. Because all the comic books that I've looked and backed, that this is so different, and I like that. I like that you and your dad are doing something that's just visually different than anything I've ever seen. In my opinion, like I've never seen it look like this, but that's cool that you did it. It's different. It gives it something unique. It's special, and I like that look. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Catches your eye.
Thank you. For me, basically, like we did like the traditional pen ink style, like with our very first book, and then it did pretty well. But then I was like, when I saw like my dad do the first book, he wanted to do it like this, and I was like, I think we need that to be our main thing. I was like, this is gonna be the thing that makes us stand out. We need this style to be our house style. Like we do other styles, but this is the house style. This is the style that we want you to see. Like this is our traditional style, basically, for our books. We wanted that thing that is really nice, and it helps you like stand out, like, whoa, okay, this is something different that everybody else isn't doing. And that's kind of the thing that I wanted to do with us. It's like I wanted to give us something that helped us stand out. I was like, this is the style that's gonna just make us stand out. It's something different, not a lot of people can do.
It's bold. I'll give you that.
It's really different.
Bold.
And it's like I was telling my dad like early on, it's like There's one or two ways it could go. Like for somebody that's like more traditional, it's kind of like might be different on the eyes, but somebody that's kind of brand new to it, like this is something that's different. So I've gotten both of it, but the thing is also you want people to talk about it. So
Yes.
one way or the other, you want them to notice it.
Well, I think it'd be great if Ethan got a copy of this.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's seen anything like this. So it'd be interesting what he thinks of it, his perspective. Because I like that it's bold, like you're taking a risk, but it's a good risk. I like
and
it. I don't know.
His address is out there, and you've already got one issue made. Send him an issue of it. He might like it, and you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how it's different. I really do love it visually, this book. It's so cool.
Yeah.
That and rubbing the elbows with all the manga talk. Anyway, want to play that trailer? Want to play that trailer or do
play that trailer?
Yeah, I'm all for trailers.
You want to see the animated one first, or just the actual campaign trailer?
Well, both. But the animated first.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see that animated.
Then you play that trailer.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I just started doing animation, because I've been training under One Gun, Get a Roll Son. Yeah, he's been doing 3D animation for at least 10 years or so, and I just got into it 2 years ago, and I was thinking of all different ways to help us get noticed and things like that. And then I was like, let me learn animation a little bit so I can make these little shorts and help get people introduced to our characters and the world we creating. So I'm dabbling in every different thing to just get our characters out there and get people to more aware of who we are and what we're trying to do.
Let's see it.
Expand the screen a bit.
Let's see. Yeah. It won't let me get any big on this.
That's what she said. Okay.
That was good.
Where is it? No. Let's see.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Oh, well, where's the sound? You have sound?
So, can you hear it?
No.
You may have to go through you take control to get sound.
Oh,
sure.
Do I?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Here,
well.
Hold on, let me help you. Let me pull it up for you, and I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's what she said.
That's what she said. You're going.
All right. Let me pull it up here for you.
Yeah.
I got you, buddy. Let me get you done. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Let me go up here and I'll share my screen for you.
Okay. I'm going to take that screen down. Well, sure. Yeah. There you go. And
all right.
Oh, there you go. Good. There you go. Nice. You expand the screen. We can actually hear. Yeah.
All right.
Some cinema. That bass.
I know. I like the bass.
What can I get for you? Here you go.
We're looking for the red-eyed Cody Five. We know he's in here. I can smell.
I'm drinking here, Porky. Fuck off. I'll kill you guys some other time. You Onyx don't quit. Hey. Got your red apron right here. Hey there. They'll be covering my tabs.
Don't do that.
Not bad at all. My turn.
There's a little X thing at the very, very end.
Oh. Is that baby Jensen? That alien baby? That's wild. Yep. I like it.
Nice. What the hell is that? Go back to your own franchise.
Nice. Good job, man.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Very good.
Then we could go and play that trailer, that other trailer you had.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, cool.
That's what I like about this show. We get guests on and put them to work.
I don't mind. I don't mind
thank
at
you,
all.
Katie. Thank you,
I'm
guys.
happy to help a dear friend. So.
Yes, we are dear friends now. Yay. There you
Hey,
go.
Grumpy.
Yay.
All right, you'll let me know you're ready.
Go ahead.
And big and engage.
Engage. Biff, Bamn.
It's far superior to a lot of stuff that I've looked at.
This one goes for the.
Trust me when I tell you, I live for stuff like this.
Sounds like Rich Parada.
Yeah, I think that was.
Cody Valiant is not like any book I've seen before.
This is next level stuff. I mean, I've seen some of this stuff. I don't remember art like this in a comic or anything along those lines. It's different. It's unusual, and I'm digging it quite a bit. Thank you.
Okay, I want that.
When is this going to be launched?
Yeah, that was the original date thing, but I ended up just switching it to the 24th. It was like some little things I had to do to it.
I hear you. Oh yeah, you got to tweak it. I understand.
Yeah.
How did you come up with your company name, Biff Bam Boom?
Biff Bamn Boom, basically, it was a name my dad came up with like when I was like 12.
Okay. And you're 13 now?
Because he was watching the old 60s Batman. And
I figured so.
Right.
Biff
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's where it came from. And then when he gave it to me, I was like this is okay. If I do this, I was like, this is gonna be the name of it. This is the name of the company. When we create the characters, and like this is what we're gonna call it, Biff Bamn Boom Comics.
Interesting.
I love it.
Very cool.
Can I brag a little bit for you? I have here on his YouTube channel, you and Lugan got featured into Trashcast with Cyberfrog, and I love what y'all did there, and I love the animation. So if it's okay with you, Sean, can I share that with them?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And in your sharing, also share your channel in the chat, Katie, if you wouldn't mind, for people that might want to subscribe to you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
That's right.
Put her to work.
Yes.
Ow. All right. Let me go ahead and play. This is really cool, and you did a great
Big
job on
Bag
this.
Afro Studio.
Big Bag Afro Studio.
Everyone, we have 3 hours until nightfall. Gather what you can find and return back to camp. Got it? Good. Happy hunting. and remember the rules. Rule 1, stay to the trees. Well, in this case, buildings and shadows. Rule 2, stay near smoke. And rule 3, never panic. And always wear red.
Enough with all this rules talk. I'm not wearing any of those lame red clothes either. If I see one of those overgrown bees, I'll rip it apart with my bare hands. Ain't that right, sweetheart? Ain't that right, sweetheart? Was it something I said?
Oh no. Please not, Mom. Hi, Mom. What are you doing here? I told you to stay at the campsite. Mom, know that it's too dangerous for you to be out here.
I'm not so little anymore.
You could get yourself killed out here.
Mom, I just want to help you.
Why don't you ever listen to me?
Hello, sweetheart. Sweetheart, we meet again.
Look, buddy, fuck off. This isn't the time.
Run for yourself. Get off me, rat. Same lesson I taught your mother.
If you lay one hand on her again, I will kill you.
Whoa. Take it easy, sweetheart. I was just playing.
Lily, where are you?
Lily, go find your mother. Now! Heather, no! Too late for me. Save yourself.
Mommy, where are you?
Lily, get
Mommy,
back.
please hurry.
Get inside. I'm on my way.
Tough guy.
Please open the door. Come on. Let me in. I don't want to die.
Payback. You know what they say.
Mommy,
Stay
they are
calm.
going to get us.
They can find us if you're afraid. Be strong for Mommy. Hello, Heather. Long time no see. I can't believe it's really you. I missed you so much.
Cool.
This is great.
Thank you.
I've never seen this before. This is like it's like a little featurette. How cool!
I had to show it because he put a
I'm
lot
glad
of
you
work
did.
into it.
You can tell. A lot of
It
work.
was so
A lot of
good.
effort.
Yeah. How long did it take you to do that, Sean?
It took me about a month.
A month? I thought it'd be longer than that.
Wow. It took me a month to put it together. Because when I did it, I was like, okay. Because we was like, me and Alvin was One Gun was playing around with different things, and I had an idea for like the storyboard. Because One Gun actually sent Ethan like the storyboard, and then Ethan showed the storyboard and checked it out, and I was like, okay. that blew me away, like how he was just talking about the storyboard for it, and then I took his little notes for it, and then like I just start applying it to like the things and stuff that I was building with his universe basically, and some of the concepts and things like that I was just pulling out whole cloth, like the little larvae type of things like that. Because he said he had like some weird creatures and things like that, and so I just I had something similar to that. I like Googled basically what like the little larvae look like of like wasp and things like that. I was like, oh okay, I got something that looks kind of like something like that. Then just built on it, and then like that was gonna be for that scene, like the little larvae like attacking the guy and things like that. And like I guess the biggest thing for me basically was just like the guy that was antagonizing Heather. Basically, it was like I gotta make him like I gotta like build like a little story out of it. Cause like at first I was just doing like little clips, and I was like, let me build a story out of it. And I was like, okay, let me make this super macho jerk type of dude that like kind of mess with Heather. Cause I was making him kind of like try to get a reaction out of Ethan if he saw it. It was like, okay, like watching his character basically get harassed and then feel good that like Heather got the moment over him basically like that, like to show his character like a really good light. And that's basically what I was trying to do, just showcase his characters as best I could, like just off of like the little stuff that I've gotten from like his books and things like that, and then just put together like that.
I like how you built Cyberfrog. He's so cybernetic.
Yeah.
There's noises and things and little. I'm like, damn.
Well,
have
and
you
I think this is great, Sean, with you, and we're going doing this because when I had y'all on my show, y'all were like, yeah, we really want to try to help comic artists with their trailers, like to see their characters become what you made with Cyberfrog, to visually like see them move and talk. And I think that's so cool that you're contributing to that, because I can only imagine how exciting it'd be that you made this character and here it is. It's they're talking and moving and all. It's cool. I can't imagine how cool it is to see that.
That's the ultimate, to get a character that you created to move and talk, and act.
And having a fan put it together for you. I'm like, wow, what an honor.
That was the thing, like for me, like that hooked me to animation was like when One Gun did that to a few of my characters, and I was like, when I actually saw it and I was so blown away, I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm about to do to explore. Like on the side, like I'm still doing my comics and things like that. That's gonna be all the IP where I get all my material from, and then I just try to bring all these stories to life, basically.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and it has a real gaming. It has a real gaming feel to it.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it's created in like a video game engine, like the animation program that we use. It's in a video game engine, so a lot of the components.
What do you think about it, Hex?
Yeah, excellent. What engine are you using?
Using iClone, and then a little bit of like One Gun's using more Unreal Engine. Like I haven't got there yet because like my computer's like not strong enough to go there yet. So I just gotta get a new computer so I can start using the program properly. And that's just different things like that, like with the campaigns and things like that, just helping raise money so we can get better equipment, so we can make better products and things like that.
Right. Have you guys shown your trailers yet? Your Fembat and
I do want to show Fembat just to give Katie a dose of her. just show my trailer that Pedro Ang put this together about a couple of years ago.
I love trailers. That's my favorite part about these campaigns is the trailers, because to me your trailer is what makes me want to get it. Like when I see it, and if it's a really good trailer, it's like, all right, man, this looks pretty sick. I'm gonna back this. Yeah, I think trailers are so important.
Launching November.
No, October 27th.
October 27th, right before Halloween. Right. On Fun My Comic, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Not yet.
Yeah, we got to change that.
That's why I have good stuff change it for me, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Thank you. She's a go-go dancer from the late 1960s, gets bit by a vampire and becomes a vampire herself, but she's a Catholic girl, and she's welded to her roots of Christianity. She wants to help people fight off monsters. She wants to find the original vampire that bit her so she can regain her humanity. She's assisted by a scientist, Sir Nigel Emery, and Igor Van Sant, who's a monster hunter. And we have a cigar-smoking gargoyle named Clay. And those banded together to help her out. So this is actually fun.
Sounds so cool.
Fun comic. 56 pages of story and action all throughout.
That's one thing that impresses me is the page counts of some of these things. Like he said 60, he said 58. It's all I can do to do a 48 pager. It's some of these, like you mentioned, B.A. Turner, his is like nearly 200, 175, whatever. There's and novels. It's crazy what some of the, or Death, which is like 300 plus pages. I get it in that instance. He wants to do his masterpiece in one big thing, but which has taken a couple years or over a couple years to produce. But I get it. And I think we should be about giving them the best that we can in a timely fashion, but not overly late or but do the best work we can on everything.
Yeah, don't worry about pushing it out so quick. Focus on the quality.
Right, the quality.
Quantity later.
Yeah, and characterization, because that's what's gonna bring a good story. Like Amanda B said, really impressed upon me. We just want a story, so
yeah,
and a good one, so, and that'll keep most consumers coming back, especially, and we're not on a monthly basis. You can't set up cliffhangers or I mean, not that you can't, but
I have to clone myself to put something monthly together, I swear.
Well, that's always been my thing that I've learned, especially being a detractor. It's like, yeah, it's great you can pump out books so quick, but the quality is shit. And it's like
quality, right?
To me, I look at it this way: good things come to those who wait. If I have to wait on a comic, fine. I know when I get it, it's going to be worth the wait. That's the excitement of it, And
it's like Heinz ketchup. For those who wait, put it on your burger.
Now we got Nephilim Squadron over at Fun My Comics. I'm excited about that. I will be backing it Monday. Promise. Finally get to back it.
Hex, do you have a?
You don't have to keep saying that.
I know, right? But this time I can do it.
Is the campaign still
in
up
by the skin of my teeth because this is the last offer of the last thing.
I did read the black and white Nephilim. It's good. I give you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to get. The first draft of it, the first chapter.
To the stage, Nephilim Squadron, everyone.
Yeah. This is on Fun My Comic. This is from the old campaign.
But new to Fun My Comic.
Oh yeah,
with a new trailer.
Not really.
Oh, 3D. Love it.
Yeah, 3D assets.
3D, but 3D nonetheless.
It's real. Yeah.
My 3D assets are, pen and ink and actual paper.
I hear you. Same as me.
All drawn on actual paper.
Amen.
Mine's clay tablets.
Yeah, what's
had
this
to go old
stuff?
school. I couldn't afford paper.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
So
Hex.
good.
It's good.
Yeah.
And Rex, he has a campaign as well. That's the Devil Flyer.
There you go. Over there on Fun My Comic, like KatyDid said, we're doing 3,512, 61 back, really 60 backers, but we got it. We got acrylic standee and a tapestry, and it's all about the books. We got a hardcover artist edition. We got Jimmy Reyes cover dropping here pretty
wait.
soon. Wraparound cover.
Yay.
We got this is going to be made into a card. This John Dillard armored up version of Devil
cool.
Flyer.
Oh, John Dillard's amazing. Very
George
good.
Peter Gaddis, Midnight card. This was the last stretch go. Everybody will be getting.
Cool.
This is a stretch go. If you signed up, then you get a full card. We've got a magnet that's been unlocked by Rob Ewing, Zigzag, little speedster, sort of the mascot. This another John Dillard piece here of the bystander, sort of my watcher type character in a shattered reality type thing he did for me. Another Peter Gaddis piece here of the modern day mummy. There's the tapestry artwork. If you want to buy that, that's an acrylic painting done by Doc Blaylock, my swamp-like monster. Here's John Dillard's main cover of the prequel. It's magazine size, folks. Magazine size.
14 characters on his covers.
14 characters on it, on the cover. We got original art. Here's the Golden Age cover, and we'll distress that or something and put it 10 cents. Here's the Jimmy Reyes placeholder there. Here's the artist edition, what it'll look like, which will have at least 12 pages of additional material in it. We've got artwork done by me on sketch cards and also on bookmarks, and some by Doc Blaylock, and also from the campaign is up here. We will be redoing all this here pretty soon. As soon as I get the Jimmy Reyes cover completely colored and everything, might put it on there in black and white. But you know, sort of a hero anthology type thing. You get a free 6 a.m. sticker based on John Dillard's. We've unlocked this Devil Flyer by John Falandes, who is the artist on the 28-page Devil Flyer story. And here's the Rob Ewing magnet everyone will be getting. And then the Midnight card as well, which is my first Western character. Here's some bystander and the killer clown that's in Grave Tales and Slaver there. I don't think Slaver's going to be in this. That's just something that Doc had put that we put up on the campaign just to show you the variety of characters that it's done. But old school look to it. It'll be part of it'll be colored. We've got one Grave Tales is going to be spot colored to help tell the story. We're going to do some interesting things with this. You know,
nice.
That's cool.
And we've got a blank. We've got a blank. This is going to be magazine size, so you can get the blank variant cover to draw on. I'm going to draw on several, and then on the next.
That's a great idea. I've never seen anybody do that.
On my next campaign, I'm going to offer up some of these first print editions with my artwork on them of my characters and stuff to sell people. And it'll be, you know, so, you know, if you don't catch it this time, you can catch it on the next campaign, which will be Devil Flyer 0 and Momentum Unleashed, which is Momentum Comics. And here's the trailer.
Yay.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. I thought some of that art looked familiar from Doc Blaylock, because I have just backed a Damn Dirty Thing. So when I saw that art, I was like, there's Doc right there. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've worked hand in hand with him. He did that artwork actually before he did his first book, Pride, Blood, and Mud. did that a couple of years ago for me, as a matter of fact. And then some of the newer pieces that were down below, he, did those more recent for me. In fact, a lot of the campaign funds from this campaign went to pay him, and then some of the other additional color pieces that you saw from John Dillard and George Peter Gaddis. So, but we've got
George
credits.
Peter. Oh, George.
I wanted to bring that back up. I wanted to show
Joe
her.
King.
I forgot about. I didn't go down far enough. Could you bring that back up? I'm sorry. We are 176.
Okay. Back it up.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So we got Critical Blast, RJ. He's going to be fulfilling it.
Good.
Nice.
And then look at this great content page that I had John Dillard do that I use for credits here.
Typewriter.
And the bourbon glass and the old typewriter. I said,
He is
if
so
you're going to.
talented.
He is. And he had that out in basically within a couple of days, but it took him about,
detail
8 hours.
The detail.
Like the wood.
How smooth everything looks.
Typewriting keys. I'm like,
the little keyholes in the dresser.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? There's a lot of detail going on, man.
Yeah. Wow. And, it's something I can use again and again and again. Here I'm using it for the credits, and I couldn't fit everybody on here. It would be too small to read. I've got. That's
right. Yes.
I'm since going to add, a 2-page story by Hockey, and that he did for me a couple years ago. I'm working on the final story now. It's about 85% done. Still got some Keith Gleason that does Mighty Mascots, formerly of Arturna Comics. He's doing the lettering. He's just bringing that old style lettering that Marvel had back in the day into comics. I love it. He's great. And I can't back every campaign, but I can certainly hire some of these artists and these talented letterers and inkers, and people thought I was just a writer when I came on. I am probably a better writer than I am an artist, but I'll add some stuff in there. And I do some art myself. Here's a couple of things I've done. All right, here's a page I'm working on here of Geo. And
Geo.
Who knows, this might be a story I do. Here's a sort of, I've been dealing with different backgrounds, concepts. So that was one thing that I did a while back. And then here's the first page of that story there. I still got to finish his arm, and I'll be done with it.
Nice. Very good job, man.
Yeah, that looks so good.
So
especially the tree and
Very
nice. Yeah, and I've got other artists like Rob Ewing, doing some stuff for me.
Oh, that's
very talented. He's done stuff for Timothy Olsen's Melvin before. Some other stuff.
That looks badass.
That Hockey 2-page story will be including this character, Dirty Joe. Think about think about Spawn. That's a ghost. All tooth and claw, very vicious.
Wow.
I like the name.
Dirty Joe.
Piece that he did there.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
Now, Clean Joe is boring. We need Dirty Joe.
Engine. You remember Engine Joe? Engine
Joe.
Look, I can animate like Clutch Cargo too. My mouth.
Oh, let's see that.
I don't know. No, let's don't see that. Back in the day, they had like Space Angel by Alex Toth, and they had Clutch Cargo, and that was kind of like a guy on the high seas, right, or whatever. And they would do the animation, right, but the lips were just like a cut out with human lips so that they wouldn't have to do the words. It looked really weird.
So wild. What am I watching? God.
Right. But as a kid, you're like, that's kind of different,
It's like a serial killer behind a fake animated face talking to you.
Yeah.
That's so creepy.
Yeah. Well, let me show you this again, and I'll shut up. This is the actual color guide or color separation, I should say, to Avengers #4. First appearance, Silver Age appearance back in 1960. When did that happen?
1964, I
or
think.
4? Yeah, early 64 with Captain America. And so production art work like this was thrown away if you didn't have this stage of this color separation. You wouldn't have had the cover to the book.
It's true.
So it's got all the different layers, the
Old school
sienna,
color
the
separations.
mixture. This thing's
It's
old,
old
folks.
school.
This thing's older than I am.
That's great.
Yeah, I was looking to see. I was actually recommended Fantastic Four, Volume 1 Essential.
There you go. Definitely.
Yeah. That's one of the books that I have been recommending.
Back here, I've got just about every essential or the equivalent for DC, which is called Showcase. Equivalent, especially the essentials. I've got most of them. And that is like thousands of dollars. But then I want the material. And I deal in like original artwork. I've had stuff. I've just sold a couple pieces to a guy that he donates the stuff at this point to a comic museum out in California. So some of my collection is wound up in a couple different comic book museums. But now, to identify some of the pieces, I had to get all those essentials. Plus, I wanted them. It's a cheap way to collect it. And you get to see the line artwork. It's in black and white. And some of them have actually become, first printings have become, valuable in themselves.
Yeah.
Some reprints are.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
That's why Marvel reprints sell more than the actual current comics. I mean, they might as well just put out reprints.
Well, Sean, you're welcome to come on the 4 o'clock Shadow. We're on every day at 4 Central with Shadowhawk, a big backer who's my co-host. That he's probably Betty by sleep right now.
Probably.
Bogan. He's just but he's got to get up usually every day for work for like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't blame him for sleeping on the weekend. I know he was over there at Good Stuff stream, but you're more than welcome to come on. Just hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, and Devil Fire, whatever. I'm everywhere.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's get on 2.5 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a show. Lots going on.
Great guests. Things going on.
Guest. I want to thank KatyDid. Thank you for coming in here. You've been a real great asset to the show. Really nice. Thank you. And then, of course, Sean, you're welcome. And Sean,
I sub to you. Katie, I sub to you. Can't believe I hadn't already. I think I already follow you on X.
No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Give your children a hug and kiss in the morning for all of us.
Absolutely.
I will. And it's been an honor and a pleasure to be with you guys and to let me come on here. And like I said, I learn something new every day. And it's just, I'm very thankful for this community and for you guys to welcome me in and give me some great advice on what books to get for my kids and read and enjoy. And it's been an absolute blessing.
Going into this, I didn't even think, about age appropriateness. I was on with Don Chin. He said, well, when I was doing the dash can, and he was like, what age is this written for? It hadn't occurred to me,
Oh, yeah. That's true.
But yeah, that's something you had to think about, right? When putting out something like this.
Yeah, Fembet's like a PG-13 style comic.
Yeah, mine's probably
teenager kind of,
Yeah, mine might be a little younger than that or something.
I watched horror movies since I was like 7 years old or so, and so I mean.
Yeah, with the Chucky movies and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Night Stalker.
You're muted, Hex. I don't know why, but you're muted. I could see his lips moving like Clutch Cargo.
I said that kids are going to grow up soon anyway. And my first memory of the first movie I've ever seen at the age of 3 was Jaws. So,
wow, that must be
but then again, you don't want your kids to be like me.
Too late. Sorry, Hex.
Yeah.
God forbid your kids are like me.
That's
And
wild.
I want to let you all know too. Which, by the way, Sean, I will be streaming Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Let me know if you want to come on Good Morning Comicsgate, so we can hang out and talk a little bit. And the same for you guys, all of you. I'd be happy to have y'all on and promote. Like I said, I do Good Morning Comicscape every Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then Comic Sips and Drama Drips every Saturday at 9:30. So you guys are more than welcome to come on in. I'd be so happy and honored to promote each and every one of you.
Thanks so much. How cool.
Thank you.
Of course.
Comic Sips and Drama
Anything I can
Drips.
do to help.
Wow.
Comic Sips and Drama Drips, baby.
That's
We
cool.
get a little. We do some promoting campaigns, but we get a little bit of drama too, you know.
Ah, there you go.
I'm a woman. I mean, that's what we're used, you know.
Yes, you're natural detectives, and you love the drama stuff. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
right.
I'm a
Thank you.
hairdresser in a salon. You don't think we all gossip a little bit in the hair salon?
No.
Well,
Howler,
that's
thanks
all.
for your
I had
mod
a friend
work.
that
You're
owned
wonderful.
one. That's all you
God
get
bless you.
there. Constant chatter. You know.
There's Howler's latest sketch time lapse. Check it out, everybody, on Howler's YouTube channel.
Yes, Halder, I'm so
Instagram.
glad you're doing it, Halder. And I've been
Thank you, Halder.
retweeting your stuff of where you've been doing some drawing. I think that's really cool you're doing it, Halder. And so keep doing it, and I'll keep retweeting and sharing that. So.
Wow. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming in. And thanks to the
both
mighty
for coming
chat. Thank you for people watching on the replay and live right now. Thank you so much.
Hell,
Have
the
a
replay.
great time. The next show will be on HEX or Quantum Age Comics channel.
Oh yeah. So yeah, everyone remember I've changed my name, my handle to Quantum Age Comics, and August 3rd, next Saturday. No, next 2 Saturdays from now, we're gonna
Hot
have
dog?
we're having John's Long Box on August 3rd.
Yeah.
On the next.
It was my turn, but you
on my
know
channel.
that's fine. Who's counting?
So Rex, you'll find the guest.
You'll
on the
get
next
to me
one.
eventually. You know.
We will. The next one after HEX will be Rex
Apex
again.
is doing 2 in a row, and then Hex is co-opting mine because he's got John Longbox on.
I think
I'll
you're
get to
suffering
do it
from
one
the
of these
effects
days.
of the Large Hadron Collider because you know something changed in the.
And 2 weeks after that, I'm
Mandela
having
effect.
Donald Trump on. So there.
Oh, there you go. Right, President. Nice.
Yeah, let's keep
Well, the
talking to each
bit
other.
of his ear that was shot
Would
off.
you have
I mean,
coming
does
out
that
of
count?
Rex? Great. Yes.
Oh yeah, we'll be interviewing Trump's ear. Yes.
Good.
Should be riveting.
That's a hot dog. Okay, watch the replay. You'll find out what's going on there, folks.
Go
Hey,
back,
hot
Sean's
dog.
book. Go back, Nephilim Squadron, if you hadn't
Yeah.
already.
Yes.
Apex Comics.
Only
launch
$12.
Film that in October, right before, just in time for Halloween.
Hello.
And Devil Flyer over on Fund My Comic as well.
All right. So
One good comics, we'll give them to you.
you got it.
Give it to
Until
you
next
good.
time, ciao for now.
Boom, boom.
Later.